beat ride. You gotta let this beat ride. Oh, look at yo. Listen to that saxophone, man. Gotta let that beat ride. Yeah, I can be a DJ. Man, like my own radio station. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to When Persona Speaks. Nice old radio station. I am your host, Persona. And we're coming to you with another episode of When Persona Speaks. Let that music ride. Let that music ride. For all my people in the West Coast, for all my people in the East Coast, for all my people in the South and the North, stand up. Yo, low key, man, I definitely would want to be a be a DJ. All my people stand up. All my people stand up. And when Persona Speaks is about to go live. Yo, what's up, guys? What's good? How y'all feeling today, man? Yo, Social, what's good, bro? Rec, what's good, man? MMA, Rallo God in the building. Raph in the building. MMA, Dribble, Steels in the building. Shout out to y'all, man. Caleb, first one. Was Caleb the first one? Yes, he was. My man said first. Caleb, Rallo, Philip, Sam. Steels, yo, Steels, what's good with you, man? Appreciate you coming through, man. Dom P in the building, man. Let me give a round of applause to everybody, man. The early birds. Hold up. See, I always got my desktop audio off, man. I gotta remember. Round of applause to the people in the chat. Yo, Jamar in the building, man. What's good? What's good? Round of applause to the people in the chat. Another round of applause, man. Everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all amazing. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. So, welcome. See, I'm already getting mixed up. Welcome to another episode. What are we on? Episode 63 of When Persona Speaks, man. There is gonna be a great show. El Matador in the building. Yo, El Matador, what's good? What's good? What's good? It's another good show. We got a decent show today, man. There's a couple things I want to talk about, man. We're going to definitely talk about this. Insomniac confirms 4K 60 frames. We definitely going to have some fun, poke some fun at that. We're also going to watch a little bit of Jeff Keighley's PS5 DualSense video. We're not going to watch the whole thing. There's only some key parts that I want to kind of talk about. And I wasn't able to do like a live reaction, so we're going to do that as well. Also, for those, if you've been living under a rock, and I don't think none of you beautiful, lovely people have been living under a rock. But if you have been living under a rock, then you don't know that Microsoft is having their game showcase this Thursday at, the pre-show starts at 11. The actual show starts at 12. We are going to watch the pre-show because the pre-show is going to be hosted by Jeff Keighley, and apparently, Jeff Keighley is going to also be showing some Halo Infinite gameplay. And from the article that I seen today about Halo having grappling hooks and shit, yo, so we're gonna definitely talk Xbox predictions for the showcase. We're gonna talk about that a little bit, and I want to talk about an article that came out last week. I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. But I do want to touch on it this week. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because I feel like I've spoken my mind quite a bit about Phil Spencer and a lot of stuff that he's been saying. And the reason why that is because Phil Spencer keeps saying shit. He won't shut the fuck up, guys. He won't shut up. So I keep having to, certain things that he says just kind of jumps out at me. And listen, I'm someone that I talk about everything, man. I talk about PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, everything. So something that he said definitely jumped out at me. And I want to talk about it, man. We're going to have a conversation. I'm going to give my thoughts. We're going to break it down. But, yo, man, how y'all enjoying that Ghost of Tsushima, man? Like, yo, if y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all know, man, your boy has been flooding Your boy has been flooding the timeline. You feel me? The timeline has definitely been flooded with that Ghost of Tsushima. That Ghost of Tsushima goodness. You feel me? This game is. I did my first impressions Sunday. If you missed my first impressions, definitely check that out. It's definitely on the channel. Check that out. Really good. It's not too long. It's about an hour and a half. This Ghost of Tsushima goodness. Yo, True Virgil, what's good, man? Appreciate you. If you can't play Ghost because it's 30 frames, bunch you clowns missing out. Yo, listen, Dom P, man. Speak from the heart, bro. Shout out to my boy Barry too. Speak from the heart, man. Listen, if you can't play, yo, you miss it. Listen, guys and girls, hear me out here, okay? If you are not playing Ghost of Tsushima at all, I'm telling you guys, you are missing out on a gem. I'm telling you, you're missing out on a gem, guys. This game is just so on point, guys. Like, it is such a great game. I'm really, yo, and we'll talk about this in a different podcast, like maybe when I do a spoiler cast or a review or whatever. But yo, Chris Righteous, what's good, bro? Appreciate you, man. Yo, DeFloyd, what's up, man? Appreciate you. I think when it comes to Sucker Punch, I've always loved Sucker Punch, right? Sucker Punch is a really, really great developer that Sony has. Always has been. Like, the infamous Sly Cooper. Like, they've made some really great franchises for the PlayStation, and I really do love them I really do like them as a developer. They're solid, very solid developer. I've always thought that, right? I think Ghost of Tsushima, you know what it is? Ghost of Tsushima, this is a guerrilla situation, right? And this is what I mean with a guerrilla situation. When Guerrilla was talking about Horizon Zero Dawn and they were trying something new and they were going an entirely different way with the type of games that they normally create, right? A lot of people were worried, me included. Not like worried, like, oh my God, they're gonna mess up, because the game did look great. The game did look fun. But, you know, when a studio is so used to creating one specific thing, well, not even just one specific thing, but, you know, Guerrilla's known for what? Killzone. And then they step out of their comfort zone, and then they create something that's even greater. That is a milestone that a lot of development teams cannot do. It's very hard to do that, right? Especially with new IPs, and because, you know, contrary to popular belief, getting a new IP off the ground is very hard because you're creating something from scratch. You feel me? You're creating something from scratch. So because you're creating something from scratch, you know, you really have to get all of the cogs going at the, you know, bringing something like that together is very hard, right? So kudos to Guerrilla. But with Sucker Punch, Sucker Punch, they showed their versatility with this game. Ghost of Tsushima for Sucker Punch, it put them in, like, yo, Caleb, what is good? Thank you for the $5 donation,
if
bro.
I see Phil Spencer's face at the Xbox event, the show get an automatic hell from me.
Yo. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why that's so funny. I think it's the way she read it. Like, yo, Caleb, for real, bro? You gonna do my boy Phil like that, man? Man, cut my boy Phil some slack, bro. We gonna talk about that Xbox event, yo. I promise we gonna talk about it. I promise, guys. So, yo, shout out to Caleb, man. I appreciate the $5 donation, man. So when it comes to Sucker Punch, right? Sucker Punch is in, like, they are definitely in the upper echelon for sure, 100%, right? But I think this Ghost of Tsushima game, it definitely shows their versatility, man. Like, it really does show their versatility as a studio, and it lets you know they can create. Like, you put if they come up with an idea, they gonna create. You feel me? So and you know, like I said, I love the Infamous games. I played all of them. I played all the Sucker Punch games. I mean, Sly Cooper games. Really, 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 really great games. This Ghost of Tsushima, I love it so far. I just hit Act 2 last night. Now I'm kind of doing some cleanup in the first area before I really start delving into the second area. But we're going to delve into the second area tonight. But shout out to Sucker Punch, man. Kudos to them, man. They really, really are. They really are killing it, man. So shout out to them, right? AI, what's good, man? Paradox Cluster in the building. I appreciate you guys, AI. I appreciate you. Ice Cream Gaming Plus Ultra. I appreciate you, man. Yo, Jiro, what's good, man? Round of applause for y'all in the chat. Yo, Andre 6K in the building. Round of applause for y'all in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all that support me, man. Real talk. So let's talk about today, man. Let's talk about what we about to talk about, man. 'Cause we about to have some fun. We about to have some fun, guys. Listen, if any of you guys, ladies and gents, are chefs, you might want to get the pots. You might want to get the pots and pans out. You feel me? You might want to get the pots and pans out because we cooking up some crow tonight. We about to fry up some crow. We about to saute some crow, and we definitely about to bake some crow. You feel me? Get the pots and pans ready, guys, because we about to cook. So what am I talking about? You know we were starting off with this Insomniac. Whoa! Link!
Bots are always spreading false info without facts, and Insomniac just smacked them in the mouth with this 60 FPS mode.
Listen, bro. Listen, Link. Yo, first of all, shout out to Link, man. Appreciate the donation. Yo, Link, why you speaking facts, bro? You ahead of me, bro. Listen, we about to talk about it. We about to talk about it right now. Because Insomniac straight up on a Monday morning. What was this, July 20th? Yeah, Monday, right? Let me share my screen. I'm about to share my screen, guys. All right, here we go. Yo, listen. Let me tell you how gangster Insomniac is, man. Let me keep it real with y'all, man. Insomniac gangster, right? This wasn't no article. This wasn't no, yo, this how gangster Insomniac and PlayStation is. This ain't no article. This ain't no spectacle. It ain't all that bull. Right? Because Insomniac, they like, listen, guys, we out here creating greatness that is only exclusive to next gen. You feel me? We working. We ain't got time for the pettiness. When we're ready to show you our complete vision, you gonna see it. And when you see the complete vision, you are gonna be amazed. You're gonna be amazed. And so it's Monday, guys, right? It's Monday. I'm chilling at work while I'm working from home. Shout out to everybody who's working from home. I'm working from home, whatever, and I'm looking at Twitter. And I see the tweet, right? When I saw the tweet, I'm just like, whoa, okay, hold up. What? Let me. I had to reread it 2 or 3 times, not because I didn't understand. Hold on, we're gonna get into that too, because you know, there's I seen a lot of people on Twitter like, well, is it 4K and 60 frames, or is it 4K or 60? You gotta explain it to me. I'm Insomniac, because I don't understand. We're gonna get into that. Trust me, we're gonna get into that. But I reread it a couple times. I was like, yo, then it's time. Yo, I'm at the daughter.
I told y'all that Ghost was going to blow everybody away, but I was told that Sucker Punch can't deliver a huge banger. Hash the game of my life, believe in Jin.
Bruh. Yo, Sucker Punch. Yo, hold up, man. Let me pop out the chat too so I can see what y'all talking about. Hold on. Yo, Sucker Punch has always been a dope ass developer. 100%. 100%, bro. Trust me. Trust what I tell you. Sucker Punch is definitely up there. Sucker Punch is definitely up there. But so you know, I'm chilling, right? Yo, Jack Move, what's good, bro? I appreciate you so much coming through. Corey Mason, what is good? Everybody here, man, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here, rocking out with me tonight. So I reread it a couple times. I'm like, yo, did Insomniac just flex like that? Yo, straight up. Swinging through the city like never before on PS5 with an optional 4K 60 frames per second performance mode. Yo, that's gangster. That's gangster, bruh. You don't get no more gangster than that. on a Monday. Not, like I said, no big spectacle. So just, there you go. That's it. No article, no nothing. Like, here you go, right? And I seen some people on Twitter that said, yo, Murph is Ken's, what's good, man? First live here, enjoying your commentary. Yo, Murph, thank you so much for being here, bro. I hope you do enjoy the content, man. So with this information out here, right? This is one thing. It's one thing that I think we have to understand, right? Because I see a lot of people in the community trying to come at the 30 frames per second crowd, right? This is something that I want to put out there now, and this will forever be my stance going into next gen. So you never have to second guess or wonder what Persona's stance is, right? I've remained the same since day one of next gen, and I'm going to repeat it here. In terms of next gen, the option to have that 60 frames per second, the option should be there. I am in agreement there. I am 100%. I do not agree to mandating a developer to put that mode in. I stand by that 100%. You can argue me down as much as you want. I stand by that. The mandate, I don't agree with. The option for it to be there, yes. Mandating developers to do so, I'm not on board 100% with that. Now, with that being said, the fact that one thing I think we also all need to understand is, yo, Jay Barry in the building, what's good, bro? Baltimore's what's good, man. One thing I think we all need to understand about next gen, right? This is something that I think we all need to understand. We don't know. We don't even know 25% of the information about next gen, right? Part of the problem with the community, and something that I will continually speak on until I'm blue in the face. We have a tendency, the community has a tendency of jumping the gun on a lot of things that we still don't know 100% about anyway. Spider-Man Miles Morales is a perfect example. We know that let's go from it being it was a DLC. It's a DLC, guys. It's a DLC. It goes from it being a DLC to it being, it's a DLC, and then it's like, oh no, it's a standalone. Like, you had a lot of people fighting with that. When the developers confirmed the information, people still didn't believe it, right? So now we get into them showing, they showed a game at the PS5 event, right? Or show a trailer, they announce Miles Morales, right? They announce it, they show it, the information's out there. No one's trying to do research, whatever. Yo, Bari, thank you so much, bro.
Why don't we mandated Xbox devs to create a good damn game? #respect gaming.
Yo, big facts, Bari, man. Mandate, yo, we gonna talk. Yo, I got a bone to pick with Xbox, man. We gonna talk about Xbox. Yo, Big Avel, what's good, bro? Appreciate you, man. So one thing that I think, we as a community have to understand is that, we don't know everything about next gen, right? You have a lot of people in the community that's putting out a lot of misinformation, guys. It's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of theories going around and speculation of not just the games, but the console. Like, I've seen people talking about RDNA 1.5 for PlayStation 5 and all this craziness, right? And like, I sometimes I have to ask, has anybody watched Mark Cerny's video when he did the road to PlayStation 5? Has anybody looked at Lisa Sun's tweets? Why would these are people that, again, have gone to college and have educated themselves within this space. You feel me? Same thing with Insomniac. These developers have gone and got the proper training to be able to create these amazing games. If a developer is going to come out and tell me the game is 4K 60, why would any doubt be there? Why would any doubt be there? There is no doubt there. You feel me? So, them putting out this 4K 60 tweet, I feel like I mean, and then this is just me kind of just surface level reading, or not even surface level, but like kind of digging deeper. Like I feel like with them, I don't want to say the performance mode is an afterthought, but I think this was just something that they were putting out there. Because now that I'm wondering, did anybody, because I don't even know, because I'd have to do research, but did anybody ever say, like anybody from PlayStation or anybody from Insomniac ever say that the game, yo, Dribble, thank you so much, bro.
All praise for PS5 is marketing, remember.
Remember? All praise for PS5 is marketing, remember? Yo, that's a fact. That's a fact. But I have to wonder, did anything 30 frames get put out by PlayStation or Insomniac with this game? That's something that I'm curious about. And I'm talking from developers. I'm talking from the people that's creating the game. You feel me? I think one thing that we have to be mindful of, yo, G Junior, what's good, man? I think one thing that we have to be mindful of is that when it comes to these games, especially next gen, I think next gen is where I'm gonna float around. The trailer was 30 frames and they ran with it. Yo, listen, moving forward, and I said this after that whole hype around the PS5 pre-orders and all that stuff. Yo, man, these insiders and all this stuff, man, I'm on all of these people are on super thin ice, man. I'm talking, yo, one wrong step and that ice gonna crack and you gonna fall through. I'm on thin ice with these insiders, man, because it's too much what ifs and not enough like educational, I don't want to say educated guess, but like there's no substance to a lot of these rumors, man. And then a lot of the other information that's getting put out here, there isn't enough. There's a lot of what ifs and there's a lot of misinformation, right? You had everybody thinking that Spider-Man would not hit 60 frames, and then when it did hit 60 frames, you had people trying to I seen a lot of Xbox YouTubers and stuff like that taking credit for there being a performance mode at 60 frames. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, did you sit in on any of these developer meetings? Like, what happened here? For all we know, every game that comes out. Yo, Jay Barry, thank you so much, bro.
What does 4K 60 FPS mean? Does it mean the game runs at 720p 30 FPS? Did they just plan this yesterday? I'm confused. Deadpan face, man face palming medium skin tone, man face palming medium skin tone.
Yo, I'm getting into that. I'm about to get into that, Barry, in just a second, yo. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, why? Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, why is, like, if a developer is telling you that this is what it is, then why think otherwise, right? If for all we know, every game that comes out from PlayStation is gonna have a performance mode with 60 frames. For all we know, that's what it might be. We don't know. We don't know because, again, guys, we still are so early within the next gen. We're not even in next gen yet. We still don't even have we don't know the price of the console. We don't know when we're going to be able to pre-order this thing. We still got games that got to be shown. We are still so early within this, with reaching next gen, that I have to wonder why put this much speculation out there of misinformation, right? To assume that Spider-Man would be 30 frames go on next gen, right? And again, I'm someone where, like, look, the option needs to be there, but to assume that this is going to be the case going into next gen, and then when it does come out, that it is going to have a 60 frames per second performance mode, I seen people questioning that because it's 4K / 60 frames per second. So I'm like, okay. So the issue was, oh, there's no 60 frames. I want 60 frames, right? That was the issue with a lot of people on social media, right? Oh, 60 frames this. 60 frames, guys! 60 frames or nothing, right? They confirmed 60 frames, and now you even more confused. or you not satisfied. And I'm just like, what else are you looking for here? You're getting the confirmation that there is going to be a 60 frames. Then they're like, oh, well, there's going to be no ray tracing and there's not going to be any VHS or VRS or whatever the fuck these guys keep using. I'm like, guys. So I'm just like, guys, where are we when it comes to video games? Like, are we trying to play these games? Like, I'm really asking questions here. Are we really trying to play these games, or do you just care about, or do we just care about the frame rate? Like, if it's 60, then it's that's it. That's all that matters. Because like VRS, VHS, RDNA 2, RDNA 3, whatever the hell, all this bullshit, Navi architecture and all this. Like, listen, all that stuff is cool. I'm not disputing any of that, but I see too many people speaking on this when it comes to the video game aspect of it, and I'm like, are the games good or not? Like, like, that's really, like, honestly, guys, wholeheartedly, that is where my mentality is with this. Are the games good or not? Listen, it's Spider-Man's Miles Morales. You guys know how I talk about track record. Going off the track record of Insomniac and also going off the track record of Spider-Man, I'm excited to play this just off rip. Right? 30 or 60. I'm keeping it in stack with you guys. 30 or 60. Am I going to have it on the performance mode? Of course. I'm going to check the performance mode and see which one fits my playstyle. Straight up, 100%. Right? It's just, when you look at next gen and you look at the amount of speculation and the amount of misinformation and things that is being put out there, right? And then when you get the confirmation, you still have misinformation and you still have speculation and you're still questioning this and questioning that. I'm like, it gets to a point where I'm looking at it like, look, I like debating. I like the, the console war and all that stuff is funny. Hee hee ha ha. Xbox this, Phil Spencer, big head this, all that's funny, whatever, right? But it gets to a point where I'm like, look, you're getting confirmation from developers of what it is. This is what it is, hands down, end of story. There should be no question. There should be no more confusion. And realistically speaking, moving into next gen or moving forward with a lot of different games, we should, I'm saying this for me. Seeing that there is going to be a performance mode in such a large, like a presumably large world like this, or a sizable world, and it still will have a 60 frames per second mode, where is your doubt for any other game, really? At least any game coming from PlayStation. I feel like with PlayStation going into next gen, there will be the option for a performance mode with the 60 frames per second. Now, it might not be, like I said, it might not be 4K. It might. I would be fine with 1440p, 2KP, whatever. You feel me? The 60 frames, I'm pretty sure that option is going to be there. But we're going to have to wait and see. I don't take my word for it because I'm not no insider. I don't know as much as you or anybody else in here. But judging by what they're doing with Spider-Man, I think it's safe to say that we may be getting those options with a lot of other... And again, I'm only speaking on PlayStation exclusives. Games made by PlayStation. I can't speak third-party developers because third-party developers, man, they real fickle and funny, with how they handle things. But for all those that are still confused, listen, man, y'all need help. Y'all might need a reading coach. Y'all might need a reading coach or something like that, man. Mr. Heisenberg, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, man. I really do hope you enjoy the content, and you're appreciated, man, 100%. That's something that I think that us as gamers and us as people, man, like, again, the console war stuff is always funny, and I'm never going to denounce that, but we really got people out here that it's different when developers confirm these things, right? It's confirmed. It's confirmed. Like, there is, like, it gets no more definitive than a developer. I'm not trying to hear what Digital Foundry told you. This is what the developer told me. The people that are working on the game. You feel me? Like, that is, the developer's word is absolute. It doesn't get no more definitive than that. 100%. So, in terms of Spider-Man, listen, the game's getting bought. The PS5 game pre-ordered. Like, it's all day one for me, man. Like, I have no issues. Yo, Truly, what's up? Buck Rogers in the building. Yo, shout out to everybody here, man. Yo, let me give y'all a round of applause, man. I really do appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much for being here. So that's that. We're gonna move on from that 4K 60, but just know that 4K 60 is definitely there. It's funny too because it's definitely something that. Hold on, in awards. The Game Awards. It's definitely something that, I'm not going to say it was something that I'm really harking on and on. Oh, it's got to be this. I'm fine either way, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I don't know, maybe because like again, when it comes to games, man, every game I stand by that, man. The games that need to be 60 frames are first-person shooters. Multiplayer based games, things like that, racers, fighting games. I stand by that. I think the mandate for 60 frames should fall within that those games fall within that category where a mandate should, this must be 60 frames. Like there is no exception. 60 frames. COD, Battlefield, all these different games, sports games, all this stuff. It's got to be 60. Anything else? I'm trying to look at pretty worlds. Like, I'll use Ghost of Tsushima for an example, right? Ghost of Tsushima, I'm willing to argue that Ghost of Tsushima has the most beautiful open world this gen. Like, in terms of open world games, and I know some of you guys in here, well, what about Red Dead Redemption 2, Persona? You don't know what you're talking about. Listen, guys, I played Red Dead 2. I played RDR 2. I beat the game. I got, all that's done. Right? I'm telling you guys, when it comes to open world games, Ghost of Tsushima takes the cake. It is top of the list this gen. I'm only speaking on this gen. Ghost of Tsushima is the most beautiful open world game I've ever played. This gen. Hands down. And RDR 2 is beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. Don't chew my head off. RDR 2 is very beautiful. It ain't no Ghost of Tsushima though. It ain't no Ghost of Tsushima beautiful. I'm sorry. Ghost of Tsushima, it's on another level when it comes to that beauty, man. It I think if I had to put top 3 most beautiful open world games this gen, it would be Ghost of Tsushima, number 1. Number 2 would be Horizon Zero Dawn, for sure. Number 3, I think number 3 for me would be either Red Dead Redemption 2 or no bullshit, Days Gone. Listen, Days Gone had its technical issues in the beginning, but there was some really beautiful, especially like them snowy areas and stuff like that. There was some really snowy areas, very beautiful snowy areas and very beautiful areas in the game. RDR 2 is better in technical level, but Ghost is more beautiful with art style, huh? Technical. And there was a lot of this like, I don't know how deep you guys are in the game, but there are some very beautiful, like, I don't know about technical, but Ghost of Tsushima that world is doing a lot. You know what, Dom? Yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins. Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed Origins would be in my top 5. Assassin's Creed Origins is a very beautiful game, very, very beautiful, and it's Egypt. How can you not love Egypt? You feel me? Egypt is the shit. But yo, let's move on to this. I think I might have started something in the chat. They gonna get at me, man. Y'all gonna get at me, Yo, T-Man, what's good? I don't know if I said what's up to you. Mr. Corleone, what's good? Andrew Wilkins, what's going on with you, man? So yeah, let's continue. Let's get into this DualSense controller, guys. Ooh. Oh, look at that thing right there, man. Assassin's Creed gameplay spooky, that's a fact. The grass and Ghost alone is better than social. Get at them, social. Listen, man. The world in Ghost of Tsushima is very consistent through and through. Beautiful all around. Even because I went to the edge of the island. This is still in the first area. the very end, because normally, at the very end, things start looking spooky. The open world of this game is very consistent all the way through. Even like when you at the end of the islands on the beach, there's like little smaller islands you can go to. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. But let's talk about this not Ghost. Let's talk about this DualSense controller real quick. We also gonna talk about what the interview that with Eric LaPel. We're gonna watch that real quick because I definitely want to talk about that. But so look at that. This is Jeff Keighley. So for those that don't know, Jeff Keighley, he did a hands-on last week with the DualSense 5, the DualSense controller, DualShock 5, whatever you want to call it, the DS5. And I remember there was a picture floating around on social media where some guy had it in his hand, and this thing looked like a boomerang. This thing was, pause when I say this thing was big. I was like, what the hell? Like, you could barely see his hand. And I'm like, a part of me is like, no way the controller is that big, right? Like, no way, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I want to see, because we haven't really seen like actual people holding the controller. Like, we've seen pictures and stuff like that, but to see Jeff actually holding the controller, using it, and doing all these different things, I'm able to kind of get a better look, because I got big hands. I have really big hands. And so, like, I mean, the DualShock 4 is great, though. Like, it fits, like, great in my hand, and I don't get, like, uncomfortable or anything like that. His hand. Yo, team, man, I didn't want to say nothing, but yeah, you're right. I did, the DualSense does still look like a pretty hefty controller, even when Jeff Keighley's holding it. But when I'm looking at the controller, I don't know if you guys know about the Astro C40. Let me show you guys. If you guys don't know, I'm about to show y'all real quick. The Astro C40, right? Because I get a lot of vibes. I get a lot of vibes of the Astro C40 controller from it's made by Astro, obviously. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There we go, controllers. So if you look at the Astro C40 controller, go away, asshole. Yeah, go away. All right, I have this controller. This is a really great controller, right? So the Astro C40, right? When I'm looking at the side by, not side by side, but when you look at both, like, I see a lot of comparisons of the Astro C40 controller in the DualSense 5 controller. It's almost like they can be brothers. Like, you get what I mean? The only difference is, like, when you look down here, this is out a little bit more. Like, with the DualSense controller, you got more space in the handle section of the controller, as opposed to the C40. But with the C40, with the Astro C40, I get, with the DualSense 5, I get a lot of Astro C40 vibes, where I feel like it's gonna have that heft. And even Jeff, he said that, it's going to be real hefty, and it's got some weight to it, and, it feels well made, which is, that's great to me, because the PS4 controller, it's kind of light. It's not like, for those that may have the Astro C40, if you hold an Astro C40 controller and then you hold a PlayStation 4 controller, you can feel like there's a very noticeable weight difference. Even though the PS4 controller is a very well-made controller, the Astro C40 is a very, very hefty controller. Like, it's got some serious weight to it, right? And so I've been playing with my Astro C40 a lot more, just to kind of prepare my hands and prepare my muscle memory and all this other stuff to holding a much more hefty controller. And part of the reason why I've been doing that is because Jeff, he did say, for those that don't know, the DualSense has haptic feedback. It's got, the rumbles. It's got, all these different, a lot of tech inside of the controller. So I do think that the controller is definitely going to be much heavier. And Jeff says himself that the controller is much, much heavier, right? So the fact that the controller is a lot more heavier, and because I get a lot of Astro C40 vibes from this, from looking at this controller, I've been using my C40 quite a bit. So it looks like it's gonna be a sizable controller, guys. So for the guys and girls that might have like smaller hands, this definitely might be it looks like it's gonna be a chunky controller. So if you got like a bigger controller, like an Astro C40 or even a Scuff, something that's large, you might want to start using that. But I do like the controller a lot, and he talks about like how different it is, and how like he can feel like when he was playing Astrobots and he was moving around, he could feel how different, like he could feel himself walking, like he feel on his hands, like the controllers let him know that he's walking on, this, that, and the third. Buck says, I could do without the touchpad and rumble stuff. I can appreciate even the touchpad. If you look, the touchpad definitely looks larger. It definitely looks larger, man. Like, no lie. It definitely looks a lot larger. So, just everything looks, these handles look really longer. Like, they're definitely a lot longer. Because if you look at the positioning of the buttons, and then, like, you look at the handles, man, there's a lot of space. There's quite a bit of space between that stuff, The PS5 going to look insane on my entertainment center. You already know, Rallo. Right? So, well, let me pause this. So, like, you see, he's, it looks pretty sizable, man. Yeah, see, he does the, I want him to do, like, a side-by-side. I know he's going to do, like, a side-by-side of the, let me see. I'm skipping ahead a bit. I know I shouldn't do that. Oh, no, he did the whole thing. Let me see. I know there was a picture. The picture might be on social media. Anyway, so it's definitely gonna be like really sizable, and like you see, like he's holding it, and it's got some weight to it. Like it looks pretty thick, even from the back. Pause. Even from the back, it looked pretty thick. You feel me? The controller thick. It's got some weight to it, guys. So. Be ready for that, man. It looks like it's a very well-made controller. You feel me? The thumbsticks look wider, too. Yes, they do. Indeed, they do. So, I want to move on to this. Crosshairs, what's good? I want to move on to this Eric Lempel interview, right? Because the Eric Lempel interview and the Phil Spencer talk, all that kind of is going to play into each other. But, let's watch. I just want to watch a little bit of it when he starts talking about like generations and stuff like that.
The DualSense outside of the company and the developers, I'd love to know what you think. This is
really? They just hit me with a commercial?
The RPG mobile hit of 2019.
All right, y'all got it.
This is a big thing for us.
Yeah, no. Again, I'm used to going to a big event and playing with everyone, but the fact that I got it here and got to play it.
So we want to involve every part of the experience, and the controller is really the most intimate part of the experience. It's the extension of the player.
You're gonna sort of break with the past, right?
All the experience, and there are many parts of that experience, but this is a really unique part that truly takes a step forward in gaming.
You mentioned you believe in generations. I guess it's a bit of a controversial opinion to some people about this idea that generations are going to sort of break with the past, right? And I wanted you to maybe talk a bit about that, because it does seem like that's like a cardinal sort of virtue of the PlayStation promises, that there is this sort of break from the past, a new generation with a new console games optimized for that system versus kind of working across multiple devices and multiple generations. Can you maybe give us a little bit more perspective on the controller being a part of that, but that view, which is obviously counter, we've seen Xbox saying something different around that. Why is that so important to PlayStation as a principle of the sort of the architecture of PlayStation 5?
Well, specifically for us, a big pillar of our company is innovation. It's a pillar of Sony Corporation. It's also a pillar of the...
A big pillar of the company is, innovation. Listen, guys, my man Eric Lempel about to preach. So whatever you're doing, listen to what my man says, because it's vital. It's vital what he about to say. You feel me? Beat this.
PlayStation company. And, we are always trying to push the boundaries. We push the boundaries of play. That's what we say internally. We want to excite gamers. We want to deliver new experiences. So as we go into a new piece of hardware, it really has to check the box on a lot of different areas to fulfill those promises. And we a lot of developers about this. We've gone out there, we've talked to people about what they want.
It's important, right? All right, so he says something that really, and Mark Cerny said this as well at his Road to PS. A ton of people have said this, right, from PlayStation reps. Jim Ryan, Mark Cerny, Eric Lempel, like these people have said a lot. AI said, my husband and I only want a much longer charge cable to come with it. That's it. Oh yeah, if there's like a 10-foot, because I got a 10-foot charging cable. But when it comes to what he's speaking of, man, one thing I think people need to understand is, right, PlayStation is not trying to punish people that bought. First off, if you just bought a PS4 this year, that's not my fault. That's not nobody here's fault. That damn sure is not PlayStation's fault. That's one thing I think we need to understand, because you see a lot of people say, oh, well, I just bought my PlayStation last year or 2 years ago. Why do I have to upgrade again? That's not my fault. That's just how life is. Just like as soon as you buy a brand new car and drive it off the lot, it loses half its value. That's just how life is. It don't matter if you drive off the lot and then you turn and drive back in. That thing lost half its value because it is not on the lot anymore. That's not my fault. That's not your fault. That's just how life is, right? So, you have people using that argument, right? Then you have people using the argument of, oh, well, what about people that can't afford to upgrade and all these different things? And we've already talked about this on the channel, guys, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that portion of it. But we know what it is. Listen, if I can't, I'm trying to use an example. So say I want to buy a house, right? I go to the bank. And, I got to pull out a loan. I want to buy a house that's... All right, so say I want to buy a house that's $1 million, right? And I go to the bank, and I try to get a loan, and they say, oh, well, you still have to put down $250,000. Am I going to... Oh, wow, this is not fair. Either I want this or not, or I lower my standards of what I'm looking for. You feel me? Maybe I don't need that $1 million house. Maybe 500,000, right? The point that I'm trying to make is when it comes to people that are using this notion that, oh, well, I can't afford to go into next gen or blah, blah, blah. Listen, priorities, straight up priorities, man. Get your priorities right. I hate to be that blunt about it, but someone has to be, right? I'm going to be the guy that's going to be blunt. Get your priorities in order. Straight up, right? We all can't have everything. You feel me? We all cannot have everything. It's just how it is. I want a mansion in a Bugatti. I don't have that. You feel me? I wanna live on a private island. I can't afford no damn private island. I want a yacht. I can't afford that. You feel me? Like, we all want things that we can't have in the moment. And obviously the things I'm listing off are unrealistic, or things that, most people wouldn't have anyway or strive to get. But I'm only using that as an example that there's levels in life. You understand? When it comes to what PlayStation is doing next gen, I think it's very important that we all understand that, this is something that that PlayStation, again, PlayStation is not punishing you, me, or anybody here, right? PlayStation has gone to developers, and not just their developers. I think third-party developers, just developers, period, and have said, listen, we are trying to create the next generation of gaming, and we want to know what you got, because ultimately, you motherfuckers got to use this thing. Right? You motherfuckers got to use this thing. Y'all got to create games that's going to compel people to want to pick up our console and also push gaming forward, right? What is it that you want? So when Eric Lampel is telling people, we spoke to developers, we spoke to a lot of people, they're not just speaking to the creation of the console. It's also speaking to their vision when it comes to the games that they create, right? I forgot who tweeted this, right? But it was something very, very good. And they put it in a way that really, really summed up very perfectly how important next gen is, right? Because, yo, Omar, what's good, bro? When it comes to next gen, right? When it comes to next gen, a lot of developers, and I think it's more than what people want to believe. And I think it's more than what a lot of developers are letting on right now, right? I think a lot of developers want to pull away from the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, and Xbox. I'm being 100% honest here, guys. I believe that a lot of developers want to pull away from these old devices because the new devices are so far ahead. The new devices are offering so much, right? That never mind frames, never mind resolution and all that. I'm talking the developmental aspect of the game. And Eric is going to speak to it here, right? Because frames and resolution, honestly, guys, I feel like that stuff is very surface level when it comes to game development. And what I mean by surface level is that, yes, you want the game to have not, you want it to have, like, smooth frames. You don't want choppiness, and you want to get it to the best resolution. Fine, that stuff is good. But I personally believe that at that type of, like, the stuff that a lot of people are saying that they care about, 60 frames or die, or 60 frames or I'm not, like, I really feel like for developers, that stuff is very surface level to the development process of what they are trying to create. And when I talk about the creation of the game, I'm not talking about in terms of them making a game 30 or 60 frames. I'm speaking to AI, world building, the types of enemies, the amount of enemies, the types of things you can do within the world, those things, the actual development of the game, right? I think next gen allows developers to do a lot of these different things at a much more larger scale, but also at a much more efficient scale that it allows them to create more, right? So when you're creating more, right, when you're trying to put more things into games, when you're trying to create true next-gen experiences, you don't want to put developers in a position to where, and I'm not, again, guys, I'm not talking frames and resolution. I'm speaking actual development of the game. You do not want to put developers in a position to where they have to make sacrifices. The perfect example of this, guys, is Cyberpunk 2077. If this game was created solely for next gen, do you think the amount of stuff that was taken out of the game would have been taken out? I'm willing to bet that it wouldn't. But because the game is being created cross generations, there's a lot of things that, they were too ambitious too quickly, and unfortunately they're paying the price by having to announce, so this wall running, this ain't gonna be here. Oh yeah, this and this, that ain't gonna be there. You feel me? And for, a lot of people are trying to make the argument, oh well, what about this game that's cross gen? They're not having a problem. It's probably it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because every developer isn't created the same, right? Every developer isn't trying to create the largest, the largest, craziest game that they can create, right? Some developers, their vision and their development process still falls within the realm of where it can be created cross generation, but that is again their choice, right? Every developer is not going to be made the same. Every developer's vision is not going to be within the same playing field, right? So if we are putting a ceiling on developers when it comes to them having to create games, right? How is that right? Not only to the developer, which is clearly most important, very important. How is that fair to the developer? But more importantly, how is that fair to you and me as consumers, as gamers, as people that are buying these games and consoles? How is that fair to us to still go into next gen and receive games that are gimped just for the sake of current gen consoles? I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. No matter how anybody tries to spin it, it's not a good thing and it's not a good route to go. Let's hear what Eric has to say about it.
Console, and really to do that, you've got to deliver a lot. And I think what's really unique about the DualSense is that it plays into another one of your senses. But we're covering a lot of the senses with PlayStation 5. I mean, first and foremost, I'd say in gaming, for the history of gaming, the first sense is seeing. It's all the visuals, it's the graphics. And naturally, with every generation, the graphics improve. And with PlayStation 5, we're taking a leap forward there. And then there's sound, and we're introducing a new form of 3D audio, which will be really powerful no matter what you're playing, no matter how you're playing. And then the next piece is touch. And touch has been around for a while. We've had force feedback. Of course, we've had different types of force feedback and rumble in the DualShock, but this takes that to a whole new level. Similar to what gamers have expected from other generational chips, this brings it to a whole new place. I mean, it's haptic feedback. It's these adaptive dynamic triggers. I mean, something no one's ever experienced before. And it really brings you closer to the game. And, the biggest joy for us is putting this in the hands of developers, because developers want to push the technology as far as it can go to tell stories and really bring the gamer into their worlds. And we believe, all of these things combined, as well as all the other great PS5 features we spoke about, really lead to a next generation experience. And in many cases, we can't take everybody with us from previous consoles into that experience. You need new hardware, you need new devices to experience what these developers want you to experience.
And I imagine, PS4, there'll still be games coming out for it. I mean,
listen, you can't take. He summed it up pretty perfectly into a couple of words. You can't take everybody with you. Like, straight up, you cannot take everybody with you, right? Everyone ain't gonna fit in the car, right? We about to go on a road trip to a beautiful new place, but we only got room for 8. We only got room for 8. And there's 12 people outside waiting to get in. What's gonna happen? Everybody can't come. Some of y'all gonna have to wait for the next bus. The next bus might be later. It might be cheaper. And in this scenario, the next bus is a year or two down the line when the PlayStation 5 is cheaper and around. I mean, again, we don't even know the price. We don't even know the price, right? But I'm just saying, for those people that don't buy consoles day one, or to say that if the console is $500, or they don't want to buy the digital version if the digital version is $400 because they don't like digital, whatever, right? You're gonna have to wait for the next bus. That next bus, that ticket might be $350. The next bus might, the next bus, that ticket might be $400, which everyone says that's the sweet spot. Listen, that's just how life is. How many of you have been, for those that take public transportation, especially if you live in New York or more metropolitan areas, how many of you been, you get up, you're getting ready for work, you leave out for work, you walk down to the train station, and the train is just leaving? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. You already paid your fare, right? You already paid your fare, and you're already waiting on the platform, and the train just left. So now you about to be late for work. Listen, that's just life. Get up earlier, leave earlier, or wait for the next train. Those are your two options. That's it. Corey says, Epicon, I feel you on design of the game, but design is not resolution. To me, Cyberpunk better be 1080. Yo, Corey is I fuck with Corey, man. Cyberpunk better be 1080p on PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, because if they are trying to push design, then you don't need 4K. Yo, listen, bro. Listen, man. Yo, Arcade, what's good, man? Yo, that's a dope name, Arcade. That's actually a really, really dope name. Arcade 4247. Yo, man, that is a arcade, because it's a play on words. Arcade, as in arcade. You guys know. That's a dope name. Shout out to Arcade in that name, man. Jenny Jones, what's up? You ever watched Jenny Jones back in the day? Y'all remember that show, Jenny Jones? That show was so dope. How crazy would it be if that is actually Jenny Jones in my chat? Yo, that Jenny Jones show was funny too. Yo, Cyber Dragon with the dono.
As a true gamer, your paywall is your wallet.
Big facts. Big fat. Yo, I agree. Yo, first, shout out to Cyber Dragon. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, yo, listen. As a true gamer, your paywall is your wallet, man. Listen, vote with your wallet. Vote with your wallet, man. Straight up. If you can't do that, if you just bought a PlayStation 5, excuse me, if you just bought a PlayStation 4, I mean, yo, listen, that is a you problem. We all shouldn't suffer because you just now waking up and realizing that gaming is enjoyed most on the PlayStation. That ain't my fault. You should have woke up sooner. Just like with the train. You want to get on the train earlier? You better wake up earlier. Yo, listen, you're going to have to wake up. You got to get up a half hour, maybe an hour early. You feel me? You got to wake up. That ain't my fault, man. That ain't nobody's fault. Corey, that's a NYC problem. Man, I know that struggle. Yo, listen, as a New Yorker, man, that's happened to me a couple times where I'm walking down into the train. I got my music playing. It's early in the morning. It's like 7 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. I'm bobbing out. I'm chilling, nice music playing, and like the train, and I look and I'm like, oh shit, the train pulling off. I'm like, huh? Damn. And then the next train don't come for 10 minutes. I'm like, yo. So like now my entire schedule is thrown off. You feel me? You just got to get up earlier. Straight up. That's it. But let's finish what he says here, because he says something about Ratchet and Clank that I really want, that it really hits home to his point. You feel me?
I mean, it's not like the pipeline stops there, but there's this sort of new set of experiences that will be exclusive to PS5, right?
Exactly. PlayStation 4 is a big part of everything we do, and it will continue to be a big part of everything we do.
So stop crying, guys. You got some solid games to play. You know what's so funny? Yo, before we continue with the video, you know what's so funny, bro, and why like a lot of people in this community are real funny, right? What is one thing that you always see people talking about on social media? My backlog, right? Everyone is always complaining about too many games coming out, guys. My backlog. I've got so many games that I still need to beat. My backlog's got about 200 games deep, guys. My backlog. Like, people are always talking about this, right? So if you can't get a PlayStation 5 right now, or if you refuse to get it right now because of the price, whatever, you can break through that backlog. Oh, well, I don't really want to play. Like, yo, they really don't want to play those games. So, yo, I swear, guys, I really believe that people don't want to finish. They don't want to play the games. They don't want to finish the games. Like, yo, I've never seen somebody complain so much about a backlog and never complete any of the games in the backlog. If you gotta stay on current gen for another year, that gives you time to break through that backlog. Oh, well, those games could win. I want to play those on PS5. Backwards compatibility, guys. Backwards compatibility. Huh? What are you talking about, man? Yo, that's just crazy, man, because I realized that, like, yo, a lot of these people complaining got backlogs, and they refuse to play these games. Like, yo, where you gonna play the games? Are you gonna play the games? Yo, and listen, I got a backlog. Guys, listen, I have a backlog, right? You don't hear me like constantly talking. Oh man, my backlog is like 600-700 games deep, guys. I mean, it's there. I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll play those games whenever. But it's there. You feel me? Like, yo, it's there. This shit is crazy, bro. Let's continue. I want to hear. I wanted to talk about the Ratchet and Clank part real quick.
There's a lot more to come on PlayStation 4. I think most recently we're seeing, some of the greatest titles this generation have released in recent weeks, but that will continue. And again, PlayStation 5 is the next generation product, but again, we've got a lot to come for people on PlayStation 4. Still a ton of life in that product.
When I was playing Astros, one of the things that my mind started racing with was thinking of how this is going to apply to a game like Ratchet, because sort of similar gameplay style, but with the audio, the speaker in the DualSense, and the haptics and the adaptive triggers. One feature we haven't talked much about is the SSD and that sort of input-output on the device, and how that's going to allow a lot of interesting things. And when I saw the event in June, that Ratchet trailer just blew me away with like jumping between those worlds so quickly. And could you maybe talk a bit about like that feature, which I didn't really, Astro's not a game I think that really is needs the SSD to function the way it is. Can you talk a bit about the SSD and how that's going to impact the experience?
Sure. And this ties back nicely to your question about generations, because when you look at a game like Ratchet.
Really? They got me watching commercials again? Oh, these boys are crazy. Come on now. I'm trying to watch this.
And we've talked about a lot of different features today. As you mentioned, we haven't mentioned SSD. That is another thing that will make the whole gaming experience different. It'll make...
Yo, listen, guys. Listen to what Eric says here, because he's really going to hit home on all of this, right? He's really going to hit home here. I really want you guys to listen. Listen to this.
Get better, but it also allows the developers to do new things. It isn't just about faster loading time. And you take a great developer like Insomniac, and they found a way to say, okay, look, here's a game that could only be made on PlayStation 5, on this generation, using this technology. A lot of what you saw in the show, jumping through those different worlds instantly, just can't be done in most cases. And it needs new hardware. It needs new power. So that's something we're looking forward to. I mean, all of these things come together. You combine that with 3D audio, with the controller, ray tracing. I mean, these are great experiences, and these developers know how to harness every piece of those features to really bring you a unique experience. And that really speaks to what next gen is for us.
So that Ratchet game, couldn't be done on PS4. I guess if you did it, you'd have to fundamentally change the architecture and the gameplay of it.
You would have to change it. You would have to change the way the game works. It would be a different experience, according to everything that...
Ooh, yo, Eric Lempel preaching, boy. Yo, Eric Lempel, he preaching, man. My man's just preaching, man. Hold on, let's play that back a little bit.
The gameplay of it?
You would have to change it. You would have to change the way the game works.
Hold on, let's play it in slow motion for you guys, man, because some of y'all, man, y'all act like, oh, what did he say? I didn't understand. I want to make sure you guys understand what my man is saying here, right? So we're gonna play in the slow motion, guys. Here we go.
Kind of the architecture and the gameplay of it.
You would have to change it.
You would have to change
the way the game works.
You would have to change the game works. You would have to change the way the game works. One more time, guys, because I want to make sure. I don't want none of you boys and girls out here looking foolish. One more time in slow motion, by the way.
The architecture and
the architecture and the gameplay. The architecture and the gameplay. Let's play it.
Play of it.
You would have to change it. You would have to change the way the game works.
You would have to change the way the game works if it was created for PlayStation 4, which fundamentally would hinder the next gen creation of the game. You get that, guys? Do we understand? Nice and slow. Do I need to play it back one more time, guys? Are we clear here? Are we clear here? I don't want nobody on social media saying, I don't understand. Why can't the game be created for next gen and cross gen like how Xbox is doing it? Why? Guys, you know what? Y'all not here. Let's play it back one more time. Because I want you guys to understand. I want it to get through your heads.
The kind of the architecture and
the architecture
of it.
You would have to change it. You would have to change the way the game works. It would be a different experience.
Well, hold on. It'll be a different experience. Eric Lapel, I don't think I understood that. Say it again for me. It would be a what, Eric Lapel? It would be a what? You're not making any sense, Eric.
You would have to change it. You would have to change the way the game works.
It would be a what?
It would be a different experience.
Oh my god, it would be a different experience if the game was created on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5? Are you telling me that if this game was cross-gen, we actually would not be receiving a true next-gen creation of a game? Eric, say it isn't so. Oh my god, are you really trying to tell me that this is what it is? Eric, oh my god, I'm flabbergasted. Did you get that, guys? Did you get that?
To everything that Insomniac have told us, this hardware allows them to deliver on this vision. They could not make it. If they did, it would just be different. You would be playing a different type of game, and the experience would be different.
Do you guys get that? Do you guys understand now? Do you guys understand why? Chris said, repeat it again. Repeat it again. Do you guys get it though? Do you guys understand? Like, I'm asking serious questions here. I'm asking serious questions, right? Do we all understand, right? And I know from my boys here, I know y'all understand. From my boys and girls here that's listening and watching, I know a lot of y'all understand, right? But I know there's people that's probably gonna watch this later or watch this now. Listen, guys, next gen is it's very important for a number of reasons, right? And one of those reasons is the experiences that we get going into next gen cannot be had if we still have to be tethered to this 7-year-old box. It gets no clearer than that. It don't get no clearer than that, guys. Do we understand? Right? So I'm glad we talked about that, guys. I'm glad we got that out the way. We all understand what it is and what it ain't. You feel me? Now that we've talked about that, but Phil said that, yeah, Rollo, you're right. But Phil said, yo, listen, I'm about to jump into the chat. Y'all could come through to the chat. Come through to the chat. I'm in the speak from the heart chat, because I'm about to speak from the heart. I'm in the speak from the heart chat. Y'all come through, because we about to talk about Phil Spencer and the Xbox game showcase predictions. And I definitely want some of y'all thoughts, man. I'm not gonna lie. I want y'all thoughts. I want y'all to get, let me know what it is, man. I want some of y'all thoughts, man. So come through to the chat. Speak from the heart. I'm here. I'm about to put a link to the chat. Hold up. Come through if you want to talk. It's an open chat. You guys are free to come through. Come through. I'm in the chat. So, let's talk about Phil Spencer, right? So, where's the article? All right, so Uncle Phil, he said some crazy shit. Something that, like, you know what it is? It really it like kind of threw me off, like, because I'm not sure if he's saying this stuff to throw PlayStation off or to throw my Nintendo off or just to throw people off in general and like get people to lower their guard and then kind of like, strike. But like some of the stuff that he's saying, hold on.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? I was in my chat. I was in Speak from the Heart chat, but yeah, we could be in the chat. Anyway, it was some stuff that he was saying and I was just like, what the hell is he like, what are you talking? So what am I talking about, guys? Let me change to the thing real quick. All right, so Uncle Phil, you see him, Phil? He says, Phil Spencer on the console war mentality and Xbox's shift away from the box, right? I don't get it, right? I really don't get it. I don't get it, right? First off, the console war mentality or the console war, whatever you want to call it, all of that is what put him in the position, or Xbox in the position, especially last gen. Like, I hope people don't think the console war just started this gen. That's the Discord win, by the way, guys. I hope he doesn't think that, like, this happened, like the console war stuff or whatever, all that just happened this gen. The console war stuff has been happening since the beginning of time, right? Since the beginning of gaming, when it was Mario versus Sonic. Even before that, Donkey Kong versus Mario. Listen, guys, this whole idea that console war or console war banter or debates and all this stuff is bad or competition is bad. Some of you people seriously need to get this stuff out your heads. Like, you really need to move away from this way of thinking, right? Competition breeds such high quality results, right? And when people are you know what's funny? The console war is no different than when Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless are on Undisputed talking about sports. That's what that is. That's what console war stuff is. That's the stuff that they're condemning, but they love Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, and all this other shit, right? And I'm not coming at them. I love those guys. I watch that stuff as well. It's really good. I'm not taking away from that, right? I'm only using that as an example. The stuff that they condemn for gaming is the stuff they love to watch in sports. Because there are times where I'm watching Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, and they going at it. They are going at it, bruh. That's the console war stuff that they say is bad. Why is that? Chris, Omar, what's good, boys? How y'all doing, man? Why is
What's going on? What's going on, man? Hey, yeah, but to go on off what you said, the competition stuff, I mean, that's just better for everybody. That's better for the consumers because it drives motivation, it drives inspiration for people to do better. You know what I mean? You don't think when Kobe got in the game, he was competing with Jordan to be better than Jordan? You don't think LeBron? You don't think LeBron was competing to be better than Kobe and Jordan? Like
oh yeah, he was like, hey,
I mean?
Let me step aside and let you do this layup.
I'm not in competition.
We both love basketball.
Yeah, I'm not in competition with any other players. I just want to have fun. I just want to play the sports and all. It's like, they were in there to tear each other's head off in any sports. You don't think Chevy is competing with Dodge? You know what I mean? You don't think Apple is competing with Samsung? It's like all these companies compete with each other. It only drives, like I said, better innovation and better product for everybody, for the consumer and for the business. You know what I mean? So Phil Spencer, he's just been getting on my, like, it seems every single day he has an interview, right? It's like every single day I see a new article and a new quote. Well, Phil Spencer now retracts his statement about putting Game Pass everywhere. I just seen that today. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Then the other day he was like, all the Xbox exclusives are gonna be, are gonna be on the Xbox One as well for the first 2 years, right? We're gonna make all of our games We're not going to leave anybody behind. And then he turns around and said, well, we don't mandate our developers to put those games on the Xbox One. It's like, bro, all these mixed messages, man. Phil Spencer just, for the past 2 months, all Phil Spencer had to do was just shut up and then just wait for the July 23rd event and just, you know what I mean, let the games do the talking.
Mm-hmm.
He's sending so many mixed messages out right now. I think the console war, I think it's really getting to him because Xbox been getting clowned this entire generation, and he's probably tired of being clowned and people coming at him all the time, every day, all day on Twitter about what he says.
Yeah.
And then, you know, these articles, put headlines, and then he's got to retract his statement. He got to contradict himself constantly. He's constantly going back and forth about what he said. He constantly is not delivering on a lot of things, you know, that he said in the past.
You know what you know who Phil Spencer remind me of? No bullshit. Phil Spencer, and you guys probably, some of y'all gonna laugh. Phil Spencer remind me of, for those that grew up in the hood, right? Or I don't even say, I don't know if you had I don't know if they had bootleg DVD salesmen in the suburbs, but in the hood they had it. Well, in New York, I'll say in New York, they were all over the place, even in nice areas, so probably so, but Phil Spencer remind me of the bootleg DVD guy that come through, right? He come through, he got, I got that new Marvel, right? He trying to sell it.
Guys.
Yeah, the mixtape guys are a little different because, it's a little different.
About the DVD, yeah, they used to come to the barbershop all the time.
Yeah, they come in the barbershop, bro. The bootleg DVD guys, right? Because the bootleg DVD guys will come in, I got that new Marvel, I got that new Denzel, and like you looking at he come up like, yo, big man, I got that new Marvel, new Denzel, man, what's up? How much? $5, right? And then you looking at the DVD cover and you're looking at, it was the white DVD, right? And you looking at you look at the front and the back, it's a good copy. Yo, man, it's the best copy, but the camera high quality. Yo, man, it's $5, bro. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You and your girl, man, y'all going to love it. Yeah? And be like, all right, man, so you give him the $5. He going to say anything. The DVD man going to say anything to get the $5 from you. Yo, it's a good copy. It's the best copy, bro. Mm-hmm. High quality, bro. Word. Ain't nobody getting up and walking in front of the camera. Nah, man. Nah, this a good copy, bro. I got you, man. I ain't gonna never do. All right, man. $5? Yeah, bro. $5. He snatched the money, walk out. Real quick. You get home. You pop the DVD in the DVD player. That shit blurry as hell. Motherfuckers talking. You hear motherfuckers chopping on popcorn. Motherfuckers getting up and walking in front of the camera.
They got me one time. They showed me the Wolverine Origins movie, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I popped that shit in. And it was like the unedited version. You could still see the strings on the actors and the freaking Deadpool. He was still like he still wasn't fully animated on some of his stuff. Like I was like, what the hell? It was funny though.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so it's a bad copy. So he's saying all this stuff to get your money, but still selling you a shit product. He know it's shit, but he got to say any and everything to get your money. Yo, Garuda with the $5 donation. Wow.
MS is a professional bench warmer. They ain't no competition. Hold bronze 3 gens in a row.
Yo, Garuda, my fault. I was listening to the message. Yo, Garuda, man, professional bench warmers. That's a fact. Shout out to Garuda, man. Thank you so much for the donation, bro. Omar, what's up? Say what you was gonna say.
Okay. Phil Spencer remind me of Vince McMahon. If you ever heard of him.
Yeah, Vince McMahon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big wrestling fan. I definitely know about Vince McMahon.
So then you should know how shit WWE is right now.
Of course, it's bad. Nothing will be better than the Attitude Era, but that's what.
Put effort in their whole entire company. They are okay with being just going with the motion. That's Phil Spencer in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Relying on services.
He remind me of the bootleg DVD, man. I'm telling you guys. Mans will say any and everything to sell you just to get your dollars, man. Any and everything.
Yeah, or it's like when a guy tell a guy holler at a girl, man. A guy's gonna tell the girl whatever she want to hear to get into them draws. You know what I mean?
I mean, now I don't. You gotta be.
To get into them draws.
You gotta be careful now.
Nah, I'm just saying.
You get me too, though.
Yeah, some of these guys, some of these simps, man, they'll say
Oh,
and
the
do
simps ain't
whatever.
walking
You know
up
what
the
I mean?
girls no more. Them simps they paying for OnlyFans, bro. That's
Yeah,
where the
it's
simps
crazy.
go. The simps don't talk to girls anymore. They pay for them
It's,
OnlyFans, bro. That shit.
it's like yeah, I don't get that, man. That's free porn, but you're gonna have to, but you're paying for OnlyFans. But
But let me read this.
yeah, man.
Let me read this quote from Phil real quick, and then I want to get you guys' thoughts. Okay. So Phil said he did an interview with the Washington Post, and this is the quote that he said. He said, "This idea that in order for the industry to grow, some companies must succeed and others must fail, it doesn't help gaming reach the potential it should." Spencer tells the Post, "We should be driven to help gaming as an industry grow, for creators to take the biggest risk they can. When a great game comes out, we should applaud it, whether it's for PC or PlayStation or on a Switch. When we should," he says, "we should focus on this industry that we love and see it continue to grow, and we should protect it from the issues that it does have." Said Phil Spencer, adding that recent conversations around accessibility, inclusivity, and addressing toxic, harmful communities that have highlighted what truly undermines the industry. If we're going to spend energy, let's go spend it on those things, not my piece of plastic is better than your piece of plastic. I don't think that's a productive conversation. Of course, you don't think it's a productive conversation, Philip Spencer. Of course you don't. Of course you don't think that's a productive conversation because you're in last place.
Yeah. Now, see, everything he just said, right, about, oh, we should be, helping each other, supporting each other, congratulating on each other whenever a new game is released, that a successful game is released or anything like that. Here's the thing. You can do all that and still be competitive. You know what I mean? Taking it back to basketball. Whenever LeBron faces, Kevin Durant, right, and one of them wins, let's say Golden State wins, right? What did they do right after the game? Don't they dap each other up, give each other a hug, and say, "Hey, man, good game"? And then right after that, they go home and you know what I mean. They be like, "Oh, damn, I really want to kill this person next time." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Next time in a competition or whatever. Then they do better next time. Mm-hmm. So you can still, sing Kumbaya with Sony whenever Last of Us is successful. Hey, congratulations, Sony. You know what I mean? Great job. It's a great game. But guess what? We got something better coming out. Wait till you see what we got coming out. You know what I mean?
That's a perfect way of putting it, right?
That's pretty. That's how they would see it as.
Mm-hmm. But it's you know what it is, man? I'm not giving... Everyone doesn't get a trophy, right? If a game is trash, the game is trash. How do you make someone better? By patting them on the back and saying, "Oh, this is great," even though it's trash? Nah, man. You say, "Look, this is the problem with the game, and here's how you fix it." Or this is the problem with, this console or whatever, and here's how you fix it, right? People, and this is why I say I think a lot of people have a very fragile egos, right? Because in regards to the Xbox could have been a great console had it came out with great games, right? Me telling you need better games is not me trying to put you down and condemn you from being great, right? You need better games. You can't expect people to buy into your ecosystem, buy into your console, right? And you don't have compelling software being games, that is pulling me to that. You need better games. That was the problem this gen with Microsoft. And instead of acknowledging that, you're trying to say the console war this and console war that. Yes, the PlayStation is better than the Xbox. Yes, the Switch is better than the Xbox. Anybody with eyes and can see that. Even you see that, right? Just because we acknowledge their greatness and your failure does not mean that you will stay within that failed state. Do better, be better, create better games, create better compelling software, and you'll get within the good graces of the industry or the community. right? It's not about fanboy. Listen, the fanboy wars and all that, I keep telling you guys, that stuff is funny, it's fun, and it's always good to go back and forth and banter and all that stuff and debate. That stuff is fun.
That's
that
never
stuff will
gonna go
always
away.
be, and of course it's never going to go away. And again,
Never gonna go.
to go back to the scenario of Stephen A. Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. What the quote unquote console war people do is no different than what they do on a daily when it comes to sports. So what really is the issue? Can you not accept the fact that your console is a failure? That you as a leader have failed not only your Xbox division, but have failed your consumers and gamers all generation? And then you expect people to just jump on board next gen and forget like nothing happened and try to condemn the fanboys from speaking their mind on such things? Everything isn't perfect. Everything isn't great. Xbox this generation was not a good experience. It wasn't. You need to hear this, Phil Spencer. Your developers need to hear this, not to condemn them, not to put them down, but to make them better, right? One thing about PlayStation's developers is they learn from each other, and it's very evident that they do. And they all are in competition with each other, but they still big up each other. They still probably talk on the phone, hang out, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they have to create a game that is of the standard of PlayStation as a brand and is of the standard of the expectation that consumers expect from these companies and developers. That will never change. I don't care if you're friends with this person outside of work. You still have a job to do. You, Phil Spencer, as a leader, you failed. And you can't accept that. It's killing you. I can tell. Because you keep saying all this shit to push away from what the true issue is. You need to do better. Xbox needs to do better.
We'll see. We'll see in 2 days, man. We'll see. I'm actually looking forward to this. Man. I actually hope to have a good show, man, because we need, like I said, we need a competition, man. I want to come from that Xbox conference and at least be like, yo, I saw like 3 or 4 games that I really want to play. That looks fire, right? That's not multi-plat. You know what I mean? That's not multi-plat. So, I mean,
but
oh my bad. Oh my, one more thing. This conference is really going to be foretelling on the tone they're going to set starting this next generation. I mean, they're already starting, to me, they're already setting the tone off.
Their tone already fucked up.
Yeah, it's already fucked up.
It's already messed up, man.
By, no, we don't believe in generation, this and that, blah, 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 blah. So, you know what I mean? But we'll see, man. But it's going to take, to me, like, even if they have a good show, of course, all the fanboys are going to go crazy and blah, blah, blah. And if they have a good show, I'll congratulate them, right? But it's going to take way more than just having a decent show to, like, really, really, like, convince me that, they're gonna do a lot better next generation than they were this generation. So, we'll see. Go ahead, Omar. My bad.
Yeah, go ahead, Omar. I know you've been trying to talk. Go ahead, bro.
My thing is, I keep hearing from you and from many others that says we need competition. Competition breeds better games. Is it so? Because Sony had 0 competition this generation, and they knocked it out of the park. It's like, I really don't. I never, not once did I ever see Xbox as competition. I'm like just starting to see Xbox doing their own thing on the separate. Aside from Nintendo, they just can't compete with Naughty Dog. Which studio do they have that can compete with Naughty Dog? No one. Yet they are here out saying that Sea of Thieves is a success, and because it sold 15 million or have 15 million or something, players.
Players.
It's
Hmm.
like their entire viewpoint of what success is they have moved the goalpost from here all the way to Uranus now.
Yeah. I mean, nah, I agree. I mean, in terms of play, and this is something I've said a million times, when it comes to PlayStation's developers, they are in an upper echelon, right? It's a different ball game where, PlayStation developers are even putting a lot of third party developers to shame, in my opinion, when it comes to just the quality. And I don't want to hear that, oh, they're developing across multiple consoles. Like, I get that, but you can't get the frames right. You can't get the like simple shit like that's messy. Like, you know, PlayStation developers have done the Lord's work this generation, right? I will continue to praise them for that because they have provided some of, if not the greatest, my greatest gaming experiences this gen. Straight up, I'm being so real, right? That's not to take away from Nintendo because Nintendo has provided some pretty solid, great experiences as well. Xbox, maybe one or two games. Cuphead, Ori, those. I won't say that they have not provided nothing for me this gen, right? In terms of competition and these types of things, the problem is that yes, PlayStation is still competing. PlayStation is still providing high quality experiences, right? The problem with Microsoft is they gave up. Microsoft gave up. That's why, although competition is good for the industry and competition is good for consumers, it's only good when both people compete. The problem here is Xbox has clearly given up trying to compete for your dollars, and instead it's just opening the floodgates so that they can just get any scrap they can. That's not competing.
Yeah, at this point, PlayStation, they just competed with themselves. You know what I mean? Because look how this year, right? And this is what, like, all the people are like, well, what about the people who just bought a PlayStation 4 this year? Well, look at all the games we get in PS4 exclusive that we got this year. We got Persona 5
Also,
Royal.
look how they closing out the gen.
Yeah, we got Persona 5 Royal, right? We got Neo 2, we got Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Last of Us 2, and now Ghost of Tsushima, which that game is absolutely amazing. I'm loving every moment of that game.
Yeah.
I'm playing it right now.
But right, okay, you could say, well, some of those are first party, okay, like Final Fantasy 7 Remake, that's a time exclusive. But PlayStation, they understand how important that game is, that they snapped the deal with Square Enix to get that for a year exclusive or whatever. You know what I mean? Because they know how big that game's gonna be. So on top of that, we got Spider-Man Miles Morales, right? Coming this year, and the PS5 and everything else. So it's just like, at this point, like, Sony's just competing with themselves. You know what I mean? It's just they want to outdo themselves next generation than what they did this generation.
That's a big fact.
So,
Yo, we got somebody special in the chat. Don't think I ain't see you come through. Got my boy Sick Humor TV in the building. Yo, Sick, what's good, bro?
good, so,
Shout out to my boy, yo. My boy Sick. What's good, bro?
I'm just chilling, bro. Just chilling.
I know you've been deep into that ghost, boy. Ooh.
Ooh, man, I ain't been able to stop playing this shit, bro. Like,
nah, me neither.
It's kind of weird though, because open world games, they usually bore the fuck out of me, dog. I ain't gonna even front. It's just like, it seems like a whole bunch of busy work, just a whole bunch of shit just to keep you, just to prolong the game, to make it seem like it's a longer game than what it truly is. The weird part about Ghost is that I've been playing Ghost, and I ain't gonna even lie to you, bro. I done went off the beaten path so many times.
Same, bro.
Chasing fox and birds and shit like that.
Yeah, I really put in like 20 hours, and I literally just, like, today, I just got to Act 2.
Yeah, and it's like a crazy dynamic, man, because I care about a lot of these characters I didn't think I was gonna care about. I'm gonna tell you, whoever made this game, they must view men as beta males, bro, because every male in this game, with the exception of Jin, is a fucking beta male, my nigga. Letting a family die and shit like that, like, bro, just doing,
Yo,
like,
you remember
real
boy that
coward
ran?
ass shit.
boy that ran away when the fucking Mongols was messing with. He
Yeah,
ran and left his family.
Yeah.
I was disgusted, bro. I
his
was
wife
like,
and
yo,
child was dead.
yeah. I was like, yo, that's disgusting, bro. I couldn't believe that. That really pissed
Yep.
me off. I wanted to
But
slice him up.
all of the women are cutthroat though.
Oh yeah, Lady
All the
Masako,
women,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yuna,
they cutthroat.
cutthroat
yo,
boy.
the women go, oh, yeah. Lady
They're
Masako,
definitely cutthroat here.
oh,
Masako is my favorite, man. I'm digging her, man. She
yeah.
dope.
Yo, did y'all do? Okay, there was a side mission where this lady, she needed, she said bandit stole her rice.
Oh
Right?
yeah, and
then,
it was a lie.
Yeah.
She lied.
Yeah, she lied,
yeah,
bro.
you're right. And she lied, but I remember saying, "Oh, please don't hurt them because they're starving. Because the bandits are natives to the island, right? They're just criminals or whatever." But so she said, "Don't hurt them." So I went in. So I did the mission, right? Took the rice without killing any of them because I figured, oh, this would be different. Cause you gotta just go in there and kill everybody. I was like, this. I said, I'm gonna give myself a challenge, just go in there and steal the rice without getting noticed or whatever. I did that, right? Came back to her house, gave her the rice, told her I didn't kill anybody, whatever. Right? Then I left.
Wait,
Then
wait,
hold on. Then later on, I came back to that same area, and I seen bandits around her house. Right? It was like 3 of them. So I killed all 3 of them. I go into that house, and bro, she's sitting there lying dead because I didn't kill the bandits. I was like, what the fuck? Yo,
I
that
killed
shit
the
was
bandits.
crazy.
I killed the
Yeah,
bandits.
No,
I
I
was
killed them
about
too.
to ask you, did you get
Yo.
so you get the different ending depending on your actions. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I know. I figure crazy to me, right? That like I didn't kill the bandits, and when I go back, the bandits were at her house, and she was in her house dead. I was like, damn, that
The
shit crazy.
The world is
My-
definitely alive. Like if you're not in an area, shit is happening in that area, bro.
My bad, bro. I ain't even mean to derail you
No.
from your original
That's all good.
conversation, but
I'm glad to have
I've
you
been
here, man.
playing this shit like forever, my nigga. Like
Yeah.
I've been playing this shit like night and day, bruh.
Bro, my
Like-
lunch break at work is me playing the game.
Bruh, I fell asleep, dog. I swear for God, bro. I was up so late, I fell asleep. I ain't gonna tell you, I did a stream at like 4 in the morning, nigga, because I had finished playing, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, let me lay it down. I woke up and did a stream at like 4 in the morning, bro. Because and that was only part 1, bro. And it was like 3 hours, my nigga. Like I can't even believe niggas was up that early, bro.
They be
Like
up,
these niggas don't go to sleep, bro.
Nah.
They do not
you
go to
Gamers
sleep.
gamers don't sleep, bro. What you mean? Yo, sick. You are you very outspoken, and
Yeah.
I know that we've had some. I've either been in the chat and hear you talk some good stuff, or we've had good conversations. This whole Phil Spencer mess, man, with this whole, it's
Oh,
the
fuck Phil
it's the
Spencer.
fanboys' fault and all this other stuff. What's your thoughts on this stuff, man? Like, break it down for me, man.
Okay, so first, fuck Phil Spencer. That's number 1. He's a loser that's doing what losers do, which is play victim, right? That's exactly what's going on. All of this, we should play together, blah blah blah. Let me tell you, he's smart, right? A lot of people take Phil to be like, this dude who's just not in tune with what's going on. He's very in tune with what's going on. A lot of the stuff that he's been doing has been to take games from other platforms and make sure that those games are on all platforms, because he knows if the games are not there, then that's a negative, right? So what his main thing is, his main point of what he wants to do is he wants to any games that are exclusive to PlayStation that's popular. Keep in mind, he only focuses on those popular games that are on PlayStation. He wants to make those games multi-plat. Once he makes them multi-plat, he's already given these idiots the narrative that the games are gonna look best on Xbox One, right? So that's what niggas are saying, like, yo, I'm gonna get a PS5 for the exclusives, then I'm gonna get my multi-plats on the Xbox. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here, dog. We done seen this game before, bro. We done seen it play with the Xbox One, the Xbox One X. You got niggas running around here talking about, oh, the Xbox One X multiplats were so much more better than the PlayStation 4 Pros. And then you say, point me in the direction. They can only point you in the direction of Red Dead.
A third party game.
What about the other ones? What about all of these other games that you're talking about that runs and look better? What game was 30 on PlayStation and 60 on Xbox?
I don't
As
even
far as
know.
multiplats, none. Not one.
Yeah, I can't think
Okay.
of any.
Okay.
But there's gonna be
And
a dolphin simulator
Might give a fuck
indie
about that
game
game, bruh.
about the 120 frames on the Xbox and 60 on
Nobody
PS5.
cares about that, man.
Y'all seen that
first,
one?
first of all, that dynamic voltage guy can go fuck himself. That's number one. Number
Yeah.
two,
He's
I
full of
wouldn't
shit.
I wouldn't support that game with your money, nigga. Like a nigga could not buy that game for me, bruh.
Yeah.
And really, it's not even because I believe the game is gonna be a terrible game. It's just I don't respect the developer, right?
Mhm.
Like you can be pro Xbox and not be negative PlayStation, right?
Mhm.
Like you could, but he took the route of extreme fanboyism from a dev, and now you're gonna try to sell a game to the same people that you was talking all the shit to. First of
He
all,
making a
let me be clear: Dirt is way more
Demanding.
demanding than that fucking piece of shit Dolphin game you got. If that game is 120 on Xbox Series X and not on the PlayStation 5, that's because he didn't want it to be.
yeah. He deliberately did that because
Come
Yeah.
on,
I was looking at the
he said it's
gameplay and I'm like,
4K 60. He said
nah.
it's 4K 60 on the Xbox One X.
Mm. I
So
mean,
just put that into perspective. You're trying to push this narrative that the Xbox One X is on par with the PlayStation 5.
yeah.
And you're pushing a completely inaccurate assumption
Hmm.
with that. You know what I'm saying? The same way people were clamoring when they thought that Ubisoft meant that those games was only going to be 4K on the goddamn Xbox One X and freaking Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really, I think that was stupidity on Ubisoft's behalf, right? Like,
Hmm.
I don't think that their messaging was correct with that because clearly anybody with half a brain or just two brain cells to rub together, they knew that that was talking in regards to the family of Xbox consoles, not Xbox versus PlayStation.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I do think that the messaging was very poor in how they portrayed it, right? Like you could have said something, you should have said for the Xbox series of consoles, it's going to be 4K Ultra HD on the Xbox One X and Xbox Series X only. That makes more sense. But when you just put um, on the Xbox One X and Xbox Series X, it's going to be 4K only. You're leaving that to the interpretation of idiots, and of course, it's just not very clear messaging.
Yeah.
So, you
Do you
know,
think Microsoft? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
and I think Phil Spencer, um, again, everything he says, it's like tongue in cheek at this point. If you're listening to him, you're gonna change your mind every time he changes his mind. Oh, Xbox, y'all seen what recently was? I don't know if y'all talked about this or not, but recently he was talking about they was talking about how he's backing away from Game Pass on everything. I mean, who in their fucking right mind, competition wise, right? PlayStation, Nintendo, who's going to allow someone who's competing against them to make money off of them?
Hey, listen, that's what I'm saying, man. Not on PlayStation. That ain't happening. Hell no.
That shit ain't happening. Like
Mm-mm.
you've already discussed the fact that you don't care about your box. So because you don't care about your box, you just trying to make money and Trojan horse your way. I don't forgot who even made that term up about what Phil is doing. I think it was Thrash. But oh shit, I just sliced his head off. Fuck.
Uh oh.
Um
Do you think?
but yeah, no, he Trojan horse. Like who's okay, let me put this in a better way, and let me take Phil Spencer out of the equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say YouTube wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's equate it to YouTube, right? You're on YouTube, I'm on YouTube, right? But imagine if they gave you the option to do super chats for other people channels. Who the fuck is gonna do that? Who's gonna do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yo, hey, come to my channel. You can support Persona from my channel. Just hit that super chat. But like,
That's a
what
waste
are
of
we
time.
talking about?
Yeah.
No. Who the fuck is gonna do that? Like
Yeah.
that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm gonna make my content, right? Right? Or better yet, I'm gonna take your video, put it on my channel, and then they're gonna have a super chat button so that it goes to you. Like that's kind of how it sounds, right?
Yeah.
But
Question: do
again,
you think Sony and Microsoft doing it on purpose in the sense of they paid Ubisoft to say what they said?
but no, okay, that would
It's
be
a
insane.
marketing.
No. That would be insinuating that Ubisoft worked with Microsoft for that mixed ass messaging. Micro Ubisoft didn't tell Microsoft to create the One S that has a 4K Blu-ray drive but can't do 4K gaming.
Mm.
This is what y'all got to understand about why that is on the back of that. If it wasn't, Microsoft could be sued. If it just simply said Xbox 4K on Xbox consoles, okay, I got an Xbox One. It's an Xbox One S. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't push that off as a 4K console, so they have to give a disclaimer. It's going to be 4K Ultra HD on the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X. Because if they didn't, you have that one dumbass who's gonna be like, "Well, I put the game in my console. It's a lie. It's not 4K. It's 920p." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that would cause
Can I
lawsuits.
donate to Ninja
If y'all
instead of
remember,
Xbox
a nigga
gamers?
sued Sony over Killzone.
Thank you, Garuda. Appreciate
You
that
know what I'm
donation.
saying?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. You had a super chat.
Yeah, no,
Use
it's
that
fine.
shit,
Yo,
bro.
Garuda,
Nah,
appreciate
you can
the
stop me for that shit, dog.
appreciate the super chat, bro. Can I donate to Ninja instead of Xbox gamers? Nah, I mean you make a good point, but this is why I said that Phil Spencer, he reminds me of the bootleg DVD salesman. You know, that coming to the barbershop or wherever, walking around the hood, because he'll say anything to get you $5.
And then
You
give
either
you
believe
a whole ass movie.
yeah,
with
like
a
you
nigga
get a whole
walking
ass
through that
different
bitch.
movie, or you don't get, or it's blank. It's either blank, it's a bad copy, or it's a whole different movie. Or just, in some rarer cases, it's porn. Like yo, it's just not what you was expecting. But he don't care. He got your $5. That's all he wanted.
I'm gonna tell you how crazy that was, right? That you say the bootleg shit, right?
The-
I remember when Money Talks came out, right? Like I fucking love that movie. But when Money Talks came out, bro, they had the bootleg fucking VHS of that game, right? I mean, of the movie. And I bought it, took it home, and that shit was not Money Talks, bro. It was some other shit, bro. But it had a nice little case and everything
Yeah.
that said Money Talks.
Yeah.
You feel me? So yeah, no, I get exactly what you're saying. But I mean, I personally don't listen to Phil Spencer about anything, right?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say the man is lying because he's telling people shit that they really don't want to hear. But I respect it for being exactly what the fuck they're doing. Like they haven't changed their strategy. Their strategy, especially the one they had for the Xbox One, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Remember, they wanted everybody to be online, right?
Yep.
That's what everybody was upset about.
Game Pass is
VRM and shit
online.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got Game Pass, bro. Not even just Game Pass. Not even just Game Pass. They're taking it a step further, bro. They're wrapping Xbox Live into Game Pass.
Yo, I seen that. I forgot. Yo, you just reminded me. Yo,
And it's giving off the impression they could come out and be like, Xbox Gold no longer required, but you need Xbox Game Pass.
So you gotta have Xbox Game Pass. Yo, you know how shady that would be, bro? I mean,
No. Hold on. But it goes a little bit deeper, right? They took away the year option. They took away the option for you to buy Xbox Live for the year. So you can no longer spend $59.99 and get a year of Xbox Live through Xbox. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to get it through other means, but not through Xbox, right? So initially what they're doing is they're saying either you buy it at $9.99 a month, which turns out to be $120, which is double. They did a price, bruh. They did a stealth price increase, bruh. A stealth price
and they
increase,
maxed the
bruh.
Game Pass as like you're getting Game Pass, so it's good.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yo, that's crazy.
I called that. I called that a couple months ago. I said well, no, not even like a couple when the whole news came out about the games being $70 next gen.
Yeah.
I said, watch. I think Game Pass and subscription models are probably gonna go up, and then we get this news that they're taking away the $60 a year option
I
from
knew
putting
that
forward.
$60. I mean, I knew that. Yo, listen, that Game Pass shit, bro. And it's not even just Game Pass. These subscription-based services, period, bro. These services cannot be the meta in the industry, man. They can't be like the end all be all because shit like that is just gonna keep happening. Like, oh, you know, we're gonna up the price. You can't do nothing about it because where else you gonna get game? I don't
But
want that,
somebody
man.
has a theory. Somebody has a theory on why they're doing it, though. And
What?
honestly, it's actually a pretty good theory, right?
Lay it on us.
I forget where I heard this from, but when I thought about it, I said, fuck, that actually makes sense. Remember how people was finessing the subscriptions by buying like three
Whoa.
Xbox Live Gold subscriptions for a year, having it for 3 years, and then paying $1 to upgrade it to Ultimate?
Mm.
Yeah.
They cut that shit completely the fuck out. You can't do it no more because you can't buy a year subscription anymore.
Ah, so they tied it. So they said, "Oh, you guys want to finesse us? Jokes on you. You about to pay."
Remember when we said no? Remember when we said nobody's really paying for Game Pass?
Yeah, yeah.
That's literally what the fuck it is. Because if you have 10 million subscribers, right?
Mm.
And we're to believe that they're paying this $15 a year for Ultimate, that's what, like almost 600 billion or some shit like that. Something crazy.
$15. 15 times was
no, no. But I'm talking about for the year.
All right, so
If you have 10 million, if you have 10 million subscribers, it was some number that came up. It was like 600, close to $1 trillion, right? You would be bragging about that. You would be talking about the revenue that you're bringing in from Game Pass,
it's 1.8
right?
billion.
Right? You would be bragging about that.
Yeah.
You would be bragging about that. Why not? You would be touting that you have the greatest subscription service based off of revenue. But what they're doing is they're giving off the perception that they have the best subscription service by saying we have 10 million plus users, right? But 10 million plus users don't mean 10 million plus paid, fully paid users. What about the people who bought Nabisco's Oreos, nigga? What about the people who bought Butterfingers, nigga? What about people who went and bought fucking Whoppers from Burger King, right? Like, again, that's why I said I personally feel, and I'm only gonna say feel because I don't have anything to justify what I'm saying really. But I feel like they don't really have a lot of fully paid subscriptions, bro. Because
I remember there was people all over social media that was saying, "Oh, you know, I got 3 years for $1 each and all this stuff." There was a lot of people bragging about that.
I'm finna give you another one. You know Jez, right?
Yeah.
What grinds my gears?
Yeah.
He went to some sort of event and they gave him like a shit ton of fucking Game Pass subscriptions, bro.
Oh damn.
Like 1 month trials or some shit like that.
Damn.
He's a user, right? But what did he pay for it?
Nothing. He paid nothing. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, but there's nobody like they're essentially doubling the price of gold because
they are
free to play games and all that is still hidden behind this paywall. So I wonder why a lot of people aren't being more vocal about this. Like, you're essentially about to pay $120
You want me to tell you why?
Yeah.
They want Microsoft to win.
All right. I don't know if that's how you win, man.
But some people are starting to say some people are starting to say that Microsoft could make Xbox Live go free, but I highly doubt that.
I doubt that
entirely. Really? Hold on. Let's put this into perspective. You think Microsoft is going to give up guaranteed money? Now think of this as your business. No. Think of it as your business. Don't think of it as Microsoft business. Think of it as your business. You really think they're going to give up guaranteed money for something that niggas may or may not pay for? If niggas don't have to pay for online, they're not going to pay for online. You're
Yo,
not going
Garuda.
to do
You
it
will
with
pay for
freaking
all
Hold on,
my
Game
hold on,
Pass
Garuda. Hold on, I got a
either.
super
That
chat.
revenue, yo, that yearly
all old
revenue.
games
Oh my
and
God.
no exclusives.
Hold on, I got a super chat.
Line my pockets.
Shout out to Garuda, $10 donation. He says, you will pay for all my subscriptions, Daddy Phil. All old games and no exclusives. Line my pockets.
Yeah.
No, but
But that money will go down. That revenue money, like yearly revenue money off the subscriptions, will go down dramatically, and they'll be losing money.
Check this out. If you don't believe what I'm saying and you think that I'm just blowing smoke up your ass, right? Why is Xbox Live users not the same as Game Pass?
I get what he mean. I get what he's saying. If Game Pass is great, why it's not? Because how many Xbox Live users do they have? Like what, 100 million, 90 million, or something like that? Oh, you mean gold?
30,
you mean gold
They got
users?
like 30 something million.
Gold. Okay, yeah, like
As far as
39.
subscriptions, yeah, Xbox Live is like 100 million, but that includes PC and 360.
Yeah, not that. You're talking about the gold users.
Yeah.
No,
that shit
y'all
is only
talking
like
about
39 million.
y'all talking about like monthly active users.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm not talking
yeah.
about
Not
that.
that. You're talking
yeah.
about the actual like people that are paying for like the online shit. That's like 39 million.
So if Game Pass is so great, then why are they not matching the Xbox Live subscriptions? You've bundled Game Pass in with Live. So by just off of that specifically, everybody who has Xbox Live Gold should have upgraded to fucking Game Pass.
Ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they bundled it in. It's the same price. It's the same exact price that you would pay for gold if it was individual, right? So why not? I mean, you're getting all of these great games. And by the way, factually, this is not opinion based. There are much better games in PS now than Xbox.
That's
Game
a fact.
Pass.
That is a fact.
That's factual.
That's a fact.
I agree.
That's a fact. And there's a lot more. You getting way more for your dollar on PS now than Game Pass. Like times 3. No bullshit.
Yo,
you are.
And here's the thing. People say, but the plus about Game Pass is that you get Microsoft first-party games day one. First-party Microsoft games do I want to play? Y'all don't
Exactly.
even
That's the question though, bro.
This is the reason why I don't understand why people keep comparing Microsoft to fucking PlayStation like it's apples to apples, nigga, oranges to oranges, nigga. This shit is apples and oranges, nigga. Fucking PlayStation make games you actually want to go out and fucking play and buy, nigga. Xbox make games that, you know what? I mean, it might be cool with friends, bro.
But see, you make a good point, though. You make a good point, Sick. And this is something that I think people do have to kind of take into consideration. Because as much as people like to gloat, Xbox, you get to play their exclusives day and date for only $10 a month or whatever, or $10 or whatever, right? You have to kind of look at it like, if I was at a restaurant, or think of it like this. Think of like supermarkets and stuff like that. Normally, supermarkets do sales when food's about to expire. They do like big sales, like on meat and things like that, because the food is going to expire. They want to make their money before it expires, because then it becomes a waste, right? How do you do that? You lower the price and make it more enticing, right? I think when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation, they don't need to lower their price. People are willing to pay top dollar for the quality of games that they're putting out, as opposed to Xbox. Every game coming to Game Pass for $1 to $10. It doesn't matter what caliber of game it is.
That's why I respect Nintendo, bruh.
Facts.
I respect Nintendo because Nintendo respect their games, bruh. They respect their games. They respect their developers who took the time to make their games. They respect the prices that they set for their games. PlayStation's biggest issue is that you make high quality games and then you drop the fucking price. And the only reason why people wait for your shit is because they know you're gonna drop the price if they wait. You know why people don't wait for Nintendo games? Because they are already under the impression that this shit is never gonna drop in price. It's never gonna drop in value.
Yeah, facts.
No sales.
You get like a $5 sale every now and then, something like that.
Yeah, they better rewrite that code. I know why they do it though. I know why they do it, because they want that year to year revenue. They want that shit to be up. That's the reason why they fucking do it, right? Because when you go back to the investors and shit like that, you have to have positive information to show them, right? But your information would be much more positive once you get people on track that you're not going to drop the price of your games. And putting your games elsewhere ain't going to do you no favors either, my nigga. Like, you're just going to set people's expectations that, hey, I'm just going to wait until they put this shit on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
you're
what
not
Sony did.
gaining any new people who would have bought your game. You're getting the same old people. You're just splitting up the class of people who are going to pay for it. Before, they would have bought your shit on PlayStation, but now that you're giving off the idea that you're gonna put your games on PC, they just gonna wait for it. As a matter of fact, they're gonna start demanding that you get on the fucking ball and hurry up and put that bitch on PC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They already are. They're doing that right now.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, if Sony, listen, if this idea ruins Sony, it's their own fucking fault. And I'm not mad at anybody who decides to wait, to be honest with you, because Sony should have never even gave the impression that their first party shit was going to go elsewhere.
That's a fact.
That's the worst thing that you can fucking do.
That's a fact.
But they were doomed whether by either no matter who the leader was going to be, because both people wanted to do the same thing. Herman Hulst wanted to do it, and the one that left, that got fired, wanted to
Sean
do it
Layden.
as well. Yeah, Sean Layden.
I don't think Sean Layden got fired though. He left of his own volition.
I'm pretty sure he got fired because he left. He got released in such an unexpected way in terms of there was no build up or anything like that.
We could have just quit too. That would have.
Yeah, he could have
Same
quit before he got
results.
fired. I don't know the full story there. So.
Okay, let me just remove the fire part. Let me just say he left. But the same notion is they were going to go and put the games on PC, no matter which leader took over.
Yeah. Yo, Garuda, thank you so much for the $5 donation.
At Persona Preach. That is why even PC dudes
I
thirst for
just love it. That
PS4
shit.
and Nintendo exclusive
ahead, my bad.
posts.
He said, at Persona Priest, this is why even PC dudes thirst for PlayStation and Nintendo exclusive. That is a fact. I gotta ask you guys. Sick, are you streaming? Are you doing the live reactions Thursday, or are you coming to me or Bari's show?
Yeah, I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't want to do it, bro.
You should do it.
I'm gonna stream it, bro.
Yes.
I really didn't want to fucking. I ain't really want to fucking.
Hey, so we all getting in your Discord then? Hey,
It is what it is, bro.
I'm with it. All right, so then I gotta ask you guys because I'm live reactions, Sick live reactions, Bari's live reactions. That's gonna be fun, and I'm pretty sure Thrash and Jemiah and all Royal and all of them gonna come through, so that's gonna be fun. So my question to you guys is, do you think that Xbox is going to deliver on Thursday?
Deliver to whom?
They gonna deliver?
No. Deliver to the people they've been starving, or deliver to people who might want to cross over and get their platform.
Both, I guess. Yeah.
Because let me put it this way: it doesn't matter what they show at this show. It's gonna be better than what these dudes have got in the last fucking 5 years, my guy. So there is no failing in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? No matter what they show, it's gonna be like, oh, I'm so hyped for this.
All right, so let me rephrase the question then. Do you think that their show will be on par with the PS5 show last month?
I think Sony went kind of light, dog.
Yeah.
Like, if we want to be realistic, a lot of their first parties didn't even show up, nigga. like let's be 100. Let's be 100 here, bro. So will it? No, I don't think so. I think Insomniac showed up and showed out because they showed us what Ratchet and Clank and Miles Morales. So that was like a double. That was a double whammy from them. Then we got Gorilla, who showed Horizon Zero Dawn 2, which, to be honest with you, I was shocked that they even showed that because that game just came out 2017. Yeah, 2017.
Yeah.
Boom.
They showed 9 first-party games.
I feel like Blue
did,
Point
right?
is first party at this point, bro. I feel like they've acquired Blue Point. They just didn't
I'm waiting
say
for the
anything.
confirmation, but I agree with you.
Yeah, it's second party.
Yeah, it's second
Yeah.
party. I'm waiting for that confirmation though. They gonna scoop them up, bro.
And so is the Alienation dev. What are they called again? Returnal.
Oh, you talking about
What is
House
the
Mark?
dev, Housemark. Yeah.
Oh, did they finally buy Housemark?
No, not yet.
No, it's not confirmed, but they're pretty much second party too.
That shit showed up as a PlayStation Studios game, bro.
It did. I did see
yeah.
that.
Sony owned. Yeah, Sony. Like they showed 9 PlayStation Studio games, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the Housemark game, that driving game, the Destruction Derby one.
Yeah.
That's first party.
I'm actually interested in playing that fucking game, bro. I wasn't when I first seen it because it looked goofy as fuck. But the more I start seeing this game, the more I start seeing the developer, posting screenshots and shit. I'm like, yo,
It
this
reminded
shit
me
might
of Rocket League.
Which game?
be fire.
The Demolition Derby game. The what was it? Something
Destruction
All Stars.
All-Stars.
Yeah, Destruction
Oh.
All Stars. What about you, Omar? Do you think that Microsoft gonna deliver? Or let me rephrase the question. Do you think that their show is gonna be on par or better than my PlayStation show last month?
No, because of one thing. I know. No
I'm
matter
asking an
what-
obvious question that I know I'm gonna get the same answer
Yeah,
to, but I just want you
let
guys to
me-
give me your thoughts.
Tell you why. Because no matter what Microsoft is going to show, Sony is going to show something in return. So
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
August event. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, but that's the
Yeah,
reason why I
held
told
back.
you.
Yeah.
If you, I'm sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say they did hold back and during like my review of the PS5 event, I said that there was something it felt like a few games were missing. It felt like they kind of like took some games out or whatever, and we already had that confirmation like a couple of weeks before. I forgot who said it. It was one of those. I think it was Jeff Grubb, right? He had said that Sony pulled some games out, and then after the conference, said that Sony pulled some games out too, and they were going to show it more during the State of Play August. And to me, it kind of felt like that watching the show. Even though it's a really, really good show, it kind of felt like they're holding stuff back. So I think they know that Microsoft is going next, and I think they're going to have a couple of answers to that. I think Silent Hills is one of those answers too.
Where was Sony Santa Monica, bruh?
I think they're trying to keep them in the tuck after that
Bro,
controversy.
where the
Yeah.
fuck was Sony Santa Monica.
I
I'm
think they're working
telling
on
you,
2 games. Sony
Look-
Santa Monica.
look up Sony's first party studio, bro. A lot of their people were missing.
We didn't see the
Remember that
baseball
new
game.
Studio?
We didn't see the baseball.
Well, that's a multiplat now.
Yeah, but
Remember that guy, I forgot what his name is, the one who worked with Neil Druckmann that all of a sudden got his own little studio from Naughty Dog? The one that they're
yeah.
constantly hiring but we never heard shit about it. Where is their game? This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. I know for a fact that they went light with that show, but even though they went light, niggas
That was
like,
a heavy hitter
"Holy
show. If that was
fuck."
light, bro. If that was light,
though.
that's crazy.
Even though they
if that
went
was
light, they went heavy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, but it was definitely the reason why I say they went light because they were showing a different variety of games that they have. You know what I mean? We got our third person games, we got our superhero games, we have our our racers,
Platformers.
Yeah, we got our platformers. It's almost like they just wanted to show a diverse lineup of shit that they were working on, but it still, like you said, felt like they were going light.
Okay, so in terms of Xbox show Thursday, do we think that the highlight of the show is going to be Halo? I don't think so, since they're showing it during the pre-show. I think
You want
we
me to tell
might
you
get
what I
some.
think it's gonna be?
I think we might get some. I'm only being I'm trying to be optimistic, guys. I think we might get some surprises. I do.
I think a surprise that's gonna come to everybody is Microsoft buying Bungie.
Where does this come from? I've heard this before.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I'm sitting on that. And we just gonna see what happens.
But what makes you say that? Like, is there some type of like speculation or something?
even before that, Aaron Greenberg already came and said that they are not going to have console talk and acquisition talk, only pure games.
Yeah,
So
but if you just showed a game by that particular group, and hey, we're welcoming so and so to Xbox Game Studios, that would be one hell of a fucking announcement. Other than that, I don't see them having a mic drop moment, bro. Not with that current gen Halo that they putting out. Let me tell you, that
Current
game.
gen Halo.
No. Halo Infinite is not next gen; it's current gen. So it's going to run and look better on the Series X, of course. But
It's a
it's
current
a
gen game.
current gen game.
I
I don't know
agree. What
why
about the
people
grappling
keep
hook though?
look. I don't understand why people keep hyping up Halo, bro. Halo has not been good for a while, my guy. For
But
a
that's
while.
still you know why? Because that's their flag.
They're
That's their
still the
flagship,
biggest.
man.
Yeah, they're still the biggest game. That's why.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
okay. So
even
Mari
with
said
their-
that Halo gameplay won't be at the pre-show. Okay, so they'll
It
probably
won't
show
be
the
at the
gameplay
pre-show, it'll
at
be
the
at the
actual
actual
show.
show.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but Halo is their flagship, so you naturally you want Halo to be good.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Right?
I think they're gonna show a good amount. I think Halo Infinite gameplay, which is a good amount to show at that show.
I mean, but you can't. Hold on. Okay, let's get one thing straight though. As great as as much as Halo is their flagship, you know, you can't rest the entire next gen on this game. Like you gonna have to show me
Listen,
a little bit
can
more
y'all-
than just
can
that.
y'all- okay, so I need y'all to confirm this for me. Goddamn Mongols running up on me.
Goddamn
I need-
Mongolians.
Yo, it always made me think of South Park.
Yo,
when
it
they start
did too,
talking
bro.
about
I
Mongolian
swear to
dogs.
God, I be running about goddamn Mongolians.
Mongolians.
Good job, good job.
Japanese dog. Like,
Yo, man,
No,
I love
but,
that game so much.
So I just want to say one thing. I watched a video, and the person is a professor in Japanese, and he said that this era we're playing at, this was the first invasion. There is also a second invasion of Mongolian, and this one they came with around 30,000 people, and the second one they came with 150 or something
Oh
like that.
shit.
Do you? Yes. So my
Setting up for a
point is,
sequel.
do you think we're going to get a sequel?
I hope so, man. I haven't even finished. The
I gotta
game,
see
and
how
I
this game
already
ends
want-
before I make that type of
Bro,
decision.
no. I haven't even finished the game, and I already want this game. I already want a sequel to this game. That's
Yeah,
how
we
good
all
it is.
do.
here's the thing, right? Like, this game actually surprised me a lot. And one of the reasons why it surprised me, it's the best combat that I've seen in the open world. Best fucking combat, bro. Don't put it up to no.
I can
If
agree
you
with
compare
that.
this shit to Witcher, I slapped the fuck out of you, man.
No, it has
This
better
shit,
combat
this
than
shit,
Witcher.
this shit shits all over the Witcher. In
Oh,
every
combat wise, yeah, I agree.
single-
Yeah.
No. In every single aspect, telling a cohesive story, having side missions that actually feel like they have meaningful side missions. So much so that they don't even feel like side missions. You know
Mhm.
how long I was playing the game before I realized, yo, I'm just doing side shit?
Even the side, because there's side missions too. Like,
Yeah,
there's
a
like
side mission.
there's tiers to the side missions, bruh. You got the mystic missions. You got the side, like, actual story side missions. And then you got the mini side missions of random people that you save that lets you know, hey, look, this person needs help here. Help them out. And you go help them out. And it's a mission. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
the structure is crazy.
And they even
And it's
show
all
you a
diverse
different.
too. Like
when
if
you
each mission is diverse too. Like even all the side missions. Like I'm not doing like the same shit.
Yeah.
Like each mission sets you up for like something different. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And the mystical tales, dumb shit is fire, bro.
Yeah, they're
Like, dumb
amazing.
shit, I'm putting up boss gameplay on my Twitter, and each one of them has their own bosses, and they're all optional. Like the Tengu demon, that feels like a main mission boss fight, but that's an
Yeah,
optional
man.
boss.
Yeah.
I just did that a few hours ago.
Yeah.
The thing about this game, I'm sure Tick will agree, remind me a lot of Days Gone in the sense of even with Days Gone, the side missions were all part of one big main mission. And that's how it feels with this game. No matter what you do, you're progressing to your own main mission, and you're just building up on your whole adventure. It really doesn't feel a chore at all to help the people. I actually felt for Makoto, that
Masako.
yeah, when I went to the battle again looking for her children, I legit fought for her, man.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was
yeah, I just did that one
painful.
today.
Nah, nigga, I felt bad for every fucking body, dog. This game is death, nigga. That's all this shit
Yo,
is.
It's
without
war,
without
man, it's
spoiling
war.
anything, man, that dude Ryuzo, I hate him, bruh. Snake, bruh.
Oh yeah.
he's
Snake,
a-
bruh.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say
There's
nothing.
some
He a
shit
snake,
that happened later in the game. You gonna really feel
You
like
shouldn't
yo,
even have
this
said
is
his name,
fuck, nigga,
Persona,
bro.
because that's actually kind of.
Bruh. Yeah, that is
I
true.
got that fault.
Yeah,
You
my
should have just
fault.
said.
Sorry about
You
that.
should have just said the straw hat.
Yeah, my fault. Sorry about that. But all right, so I mean, I'm remaining optimistic, and I know maybe I shouldn't, but I'm gonna be optimistic that Xbox is gonna show off. You know, they're gonna have me leaving. You know, like okay, this was a decent show. Not great, but I think it'll be a decent show just because.
Here's the thing. We should all have the expectations that they are going to show amazing shit. You did nothing for the last 5 years. How could you come out and trip over your fucking leg, bro? Like, how could you? It's impossible. If this show is bad, bruh, to me personally, bruh, I won't even pay for Game Pass to play none of their games, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna just write their ass off completely.
Yeah.
Because how do you excuse that? How do you excuse that, bro? Like you
That's what I'm
haven't
saying, you
had any
can't.
expectations, bro. You didn't have any expectations from anybody who has been giving you money for the last 5 years, bro. And then when you finally come out and show shit, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Well, that's what I'm
With
saying. The track record this generation is why I feel like it's really it's going against them in a bigger way than I think people really want to let on. And I'm not talking in the bubble that is social media, right? Oftentimes, and sometimes I'm guilty of this as well, where we take social media as being absolute. And what I mean by absolute is we often think, oh, social media says this, so everyone thinks like this. No, that's not the case, right? You know, the fanboys or the fans of the hardcore, you know, people of Xbox, you know, they're gonna ride, right? They're gonna ride for them if it's good or bad. But the average Joe Schmo, right? Or the guy that's just, you know, he working a regular 9 to 5, he plays games when he gets off work to decompress, goes to sleep, wakes up, do it again daily, you know, whatever. That guy, the track record, you know, the track record this generation, there's a lot of people that are really got their side eye on Microsoft because of the track record this generation. And that is what really is weighing heavily against them, right?
So the question for you is, if Microsoft doesn't show up and show out, which Xbox guy you know is actually going to turn around and no longer be an Xbox guy?
No
No
bullshit. Y'all being so serious.
Because
I
they're
think
going
Kid
to
Smooth
the
gonna end it like,
downgrade.
bro.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Shout out to my boy Smooth.
No,
Shout out to my boy
no,
Smooth, bro. That's my boy. That's my boy
I don't
Smooth.
even know Smooth outside of
Yeah, he's not
the
gonna
internet
change.
shit, right? That's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
That
that's
nigga
never
has
gonna
a
happen.
special love for Xbox that goes beyond games, clearly.
Yeah. If
So-
I had to think about it, I don't know, honestly. I think in terms
I'm
of the
telling you this
hardcore,
because
they
I
won't
know
turn
the
their back.
answer to the question, bro. I know the answer already. The answer is no one.
But
Not a
that's-
single one of them.
I would
They're
hope.
they're gonna make excuses, Persona.
That's
what
the
they're
thing,
gonna
though.
do.
I would
We
hope
see-
that if the show wasn't great, I would hope people would be honest enough and open enough to be like,
Well,
this isn't that
nah,
great
but
of a show.
here's the thing. here's the thing. Most of them are gonna say the show was fire. A lot of them are gonna say that the show was better than Sony's show.
That's
right?
how we. If that's the case,
that's a fact.
If that's the
fact.
case, the next gen is just gonna be a repeat. Like it's
but
it's gonna be a repeat anyway.
As far as if the show was bad, would it be like Xbox people who like turn and be like, "Oh, fuck that, I'm gonna get a PlayStation or whatever"? I mean,
Nope.
we seen that this generation.
these
who would've
people
thought,
already got PlayStations though, Chris.
No, I'm talking about PS5.
They gonna buy PS5 regardless.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying we've seen people like Crap Gamer. We've seen people like MBG. We've seen a couple of prominent Xbox dudes that just completely that you would have never thought would have switched sides, but they said, "No, I'm tired of Xbox. I'm riding with PlayStation."
Let me tell you something. As soon as them to be back on Xbox dick, they gonna be right back on Xbox dick, bro. I don't know how y'all felt for this shit.
I
Why
mean,
do you
yeah,
think
that
so?
could happen too.
Oh no, it's going to happen. Let me tell you, the only reason why is because they kept seeing Xbox getting their ass handed to them. If Xbox gets one W, you gonna see these niggas flip flopping like a fish out of water, bro.
But see, that's the thing though, man. Like going into the next generation, we can't we have to hold these guys, and I'm talking about Xbox. We have to hold Xbox accountable, man. No, not enough people are holding Xbox accountable. So going into next gen, it's gonna be more of the same if this show does not deliver, right? This show has to. I said this with the Inside Xbox back in May, right? I was really happy that they went first because they show PlayStation what not to do. Right, especially in a work from home, streaming setting like this, right?
Here's the thing. That's kind of assuming that PlayStation would have done some stupid shit like that to begin with.
I don't think they would have, not at least not 100%. But I'm only saying that to kind of play both sides and be like, oh well, they did this, But I think with that Inside Xbox being so lackluster, right? My thinking is this conference is, for me, and I'm only speaking for myself, this is your last chance. This is how I see it. I'm only speaking of how I see it. This is your last chance. Because after this, you can't say, oh, well, the next show we're going to show even better, but then the last two shows haven't, progressively, have not gotten progressively better.
Persona. They had E3 2019 to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And managed to fuck that up. I mean, I just want you to think about this for a second.
Yeah.
2018, they had every multi-plat in the world on their stage.
Mm-hmm.
And almost all they did was promote PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
They promoted a whole bunch of games that went on to sell gangbusters on PlayStation.
See, but PlayStation had, and I'm not talking about this gen, PlayStation had a bad gen last gen, and where they were messing up with the price and messing up with all these different, it was a lot of things messing up with PlayStation, right?
For the first half.
PlayStation still had the games.
But
PlayStation still had the exclusives. They still had the games. So that's why in the end, they still came out on top, right?
I can argue that point with you though.
Go.
Because I hear that all the time. I hear that, PlayStation came out and that price was stupid. That price didn't make sense.
I still had it at launch though. You feel me?
No. But that's not even what I'm arguing. Look at what the PlayStation 3 had to offer and look at what the Xbox 360 had to offer. Out the gate, the PlayStation had HDMI and it had Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And that's out the gate.
Yeah.
That came in the box. Nigga, if you wanted anything other than standard DVD, you had to go out and buy a HD DVD player add-on.
And you had to buy a wireless router for the internet.
Yeah, you had to buy the wireless thing.
No. This is the reason why I said I'm willing to argue this, because everybody is repeating the same rhetoric, the same way they always repeat the rhetoric that Guerrilla Games doesn't know how to write stories.
I'm not saying that PlayStation 3, like when PlayStation 3
No,
launched,
no, no, no,
they
no.
had a lot
No,
of great games.
You said they messed up with the price.
Well, and I'm only speaking, when I say that, I'm only speaking based off public perception. Like, we can't say that wasn't an issue within the public, right? A lot of people were saying that $600
But it was an
price
issue
tag,
with the public. Why? Why was it an issue with
because
the
they
public?
thought that was too expensive. They thought that was way too much.
Too expensive in comparison to what?
To the Xbox.
To the Xbox, which didn't give you built-in Wi-Fi, it didn't give you built-in HDMI, it didn't give you a Ultra HD Blu-ray player, it didn't give you all of the different multimedia formats that you could actually just put in SD cards and shit. It didn't give you the amount of USB ports. It didn't give you shit. So how in the fuck did they fuck up on the price? It seems more like Xbox just gave you a stripped-down machine.
But people never view it like that. People view it, what are you giving me for my buck? But in the sense of on the gaming front, I don't think people saw it like that. How you see it right now.
No, I agree. I do think with what you were getting with the PlayStation 3, I mean, I was excited as hell. I mean, and Guap named some of the games with Resistance Fallen Man, Warhawk, DC Universe Online, Ridge Racer, Genji, Day of the Blade. I don't know if you guys played that game. I think it was great. I love that game. There's a lot of great games that came out at launch on the PlayStation 3 that definitely set it apart. But I think, you know, and again, this is going into next gen. We can kind of see the same thing happening where people are seeing like that price point is what turned a lot of people off, right? PlayStation still had the games, but it was that price point at the time. I think now people are kind of thinking and looking at things a little bit more objectively when it comes to, you know, what you're mentioning, Sick, with like everything that it offers. I agree with you though. Like PlayStation was offering a lot. Like I had a Blu-ray player. I remember seeing the commercial for it. Was this a PS3 or PS2? It was a PS3. I remember seeing the commercial, and this commercial, no, it was a news segment. I was watching the news. I was like really young at the time, and this is like before it was coming out. But he had his guitar hooked up to the PS3, and I forgot what he was doing with it, but he was doing some crazy shit with his. It was an actual like guitar, like he was playing a guitar and had it plugged into the PS3. The shit was crazy. But the PS3 was definitely, it had a lot of great games, and that's what ultimately pulled it forward. So I agree with you, Sick.
No, but even PlayStation, I forgot who it was. I think was it Jack Trenton? Somebody came out, right, who left PlayStation. They came out and they were talking about at that time, right, with Categorizing, whatever. Like they were in the public perception, they had their poker face on, but internally they were freaking out. Like they were really freaking out at that time. I remember. Y'all remember that interview? I think it was Jack Trenton.
It was Jack Trenton. Yeah, it was Jack Trenton.
Yeah. So even PlayStation said, at the beginning of that generation, there was a lot of things working against them because they had priced it at that. Even though I agree with Sick, like all the technology that was in it. Matter of fact, they took a big loss. It was actually cheap for everything that it offered.
Yep.
At the time.
You know what's crazy? When Sick lists everything out like that, Xbox really was just bare bone. Like just, it really didn't offer nothing. Like you really, because I remember you had to buy. Remember you had to buy the extension.
They had great games though.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm having this conversation with you, Persona, is because I respect you, Persona, and I'd hate to hear you say something that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
But I understand you're saying it from the perspective of, you know,
I'm speaking to it objectively.
Right.
Objectively,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So I can completely understand that. But I mean, when you look at the PlayStation system, the PlayStation did not have a high failure rate. Xbox had 50%
50%.
Rate,
Yeah,
right?
red ring. Yeah, that red ring.
Half the shit that you put out there was broken or breaking.
Mm-hmm. And they counted all those new sales too, those replacement sales.
They did.
They counted that. So realistically, you chop that number in half, and Xbox is at like 45 billion, kind of like where they're at now. 45 billion, like.
And that's what makes sense. That's what makes sense to me, man. And this I've thought about this for a very, very long time. And that's why I said, honestly, there should have been no way in hell that PlayStation should have been able to catch up and surpass the Xbox.
Well,
There shouldn't have been
Xbox
any way.
Xbox was out a year ahead too. That's what's crazy. And if you guys remember, Xbox had more third party deals because no one was trying to do third party deals with PlayStation 3 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They were like the black sheep.
That's what I'm saying. At the beginning, the Xbox 360 had a lot of bangers, bro. They had more. Was it more? No, not more.
Oblivion.
They had Mass Effect, BioShock,
Fable.
Gears came out. You know what I mean? Fable. Like Xbox, they went hard at the beginning of last generation.
So what happened?
They ended weak though. Xbox ended very weak.
Yeah.
Very weak.
The thing is, the 360, real quick, like the 360, it had even in the Japan side, they had like exclusive Japan stuff over there.
Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon.
Yeah, like they could not get on from the US. Like it was only exclusive in Japan, and that's how. And the thing is, right? It's crazy how the PS3 catch up because there was some games, right? Like the Tell game. I remember Tales had Reza. All these Tales games, they want to come to the end. The 360 only have Vesperia. For the rest of the Tales series, was only in the PS3. That's it. It was only on the PS3. You can play all the rest of the Tales games. Vesperia was only on the Xbox 360. For the rest of the Vesperia Tales, after that one, it was only on the PS3. And it was just like, I'm like, God damn. And you want to talk about the shooter box? The PS3 had way more shooters than the 360.
Well, even the innovation with games, PlayStation was doing better last gen as well. Like when you talk about like pushing gaming forward, that's not just like something PlayStation just started trying to do this gen. Last gen and even the gen before that, with they were trying to push gaming forward like for all their gens realistically, especially last gen. You feel me?
Exactly.
Cross-play, all this other stuff. Cross-buy, with the features, video chat, all this crazy stuff. They were pushing gaming forward for a very long time.
And I'm gonna say this, Persona. That's one thing I gotta give up Sony. Last generation, we still can't believe how they catch up. Well, one thing is, even that they start slow, it was bad, right? But they never gave up. That's one thing I gotta give out Sony. So look, we're not gonna just sit back and just like we're just gonna take the loss and no, we're gonna double down. We are gonna make third-party deals. We're gonna go for third-party exclusives. We go like that's what these people saw that. They said, look, we fucked up in the beginning, but we are coming back. And I saw that. That's why I said, I gotta get out Sony. Like they could have just sit back like Microsoft this generation, like fuck all this. I'm just gonna fuck. I'm not gonna waste my time. They doubled down, and that's one thing I gotta give up Sony. A company had to sell buildings and all this shit, and you know what I mean. And it's like wow, and that's one thing I gotta respect them, man. They never gave up.
Yeah, another thing that really helped Xbox last generation was Xbox Live and Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare and stuff like that.
The map packs were 30 days first on Xbox and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but everybody that I knew was playing Call of Duty on the 360. But as far as that one game, you said PS3 had more innovation. As far as that one game that I think that Xbox had that's like that kind of made it like a huge splash in the industry was definitely Gears of War when that came out. That shit was crazy. I remember that.
It was. And like I said, like people say that the 360 is the shooter box. Nah, I don't think so. Sony has way more shooters.
SOCOM Confrontation last year. Last gen and all that stuff. Yeah. Uncharted.
Resistance.
Killzone. Yo, they had a lot. Yo, Mag. Yo, they definitely had a lot of shooters last gen, bro. What the fuck? They definitely did.
I remember that sci-fi game. I forgot the name. It was like I think it was free to play. Like
PlanetSide 2.
PlanetSide, yeah, PlanetSide. That was
I remember that shit had like 1,000 players or something like that.
Yeah, man. I remember that, yo. I remember downloading that shit. It was like, yo, this shit is dope. But damn, man, that fucking PlayStation, though, especially DC Universe, like you said, DC Universe.
DC
only you could play that shit was on PC and PS3.
Yeah,
that's crazy. PlayStation had a DC exclusive and a Marvel exclusive.
Yeah,
man.
But yo, guys,
It's
this
only
was
let
this
that
was
shit go, bro.
this was
Yeah.
a fire show, man. I definitely y'all showed out today, man. With the support and it was good to get the panel together. Sick, Omar, El Matador, Chris, man. Definitely appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna get into the outros. This Xbox, this Xbox conference is, it's definitely do or die. If they don't
How many
deliver,
times you said that?
it's going. Yo, I listen. I'm trying to be optimistic, man. I'm being optimistic here. I'm trying to be. I want to see them grow and be better. So I'm gonna be optimistic. It's do or die. Let's see what happens, right? But yo, let's get into the outros. Start with you, Chris.
Yo, thanks for having me on. Hope everybody's doing good. Ghost of Tsushima is amazing. It's definitely a top contender for my game of the year personally. Yeah, man, I'm actually, I'm very interested and curious to what Microsoft brings. You know what I mean? Hopefully, this is the one. You know what I mean? After the 10th time of,
After
everybody
7
saying,
years.
hopefully, yeah, after 7 years, hopefully this is the one after 7 years. But I mean, they gotta hit it. They gotta hit a home run one time at least. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, and I gotta tell Jay Barr, man, there's a lot of FF7 news that's been out lately, but he hasn't been keeping up with. He hasn't been doing no FF7 update news.
Oh nah, yeah. Listen, I peeped that Final Fantasy
what I mean?
that Final Fantasy 7 Part 2 full
Yeah.
steam ahead development. Oh yeah.
There's way more information than just that. But yeah, man. But shout out to everybody.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming through, Chris, man. Always, man. Matador, bro, give us your outro, man.
Hey man, thank you for having me personally. Like I came all late,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I'm enjoying that greatness of Ghost. I'm still in the Act 1. I almost finished on the side stuff from the first area, and it's just so much, man. Just so much, kind of overwhelming in that. But
I love it, though.
I'm loving it, man. This game is. I told y'all that game it was gonna blow y'all away. I told y'all, but. Yeah, I'm enjoying that greatness. For the Xbox show, I'm going with a straight face, as I'll always go to the Xbox show with a straight face.
Yeah.
Keeping my expectation in check. And yeah, we'll see what they can do, man. We'll see.
No doubt.
I
no
mean,
doubt.
you see Phil hyping it up, Aaron Cheeseburger hyping it up, and you know how that goes. But But yeah, man, y'all hit that like button, show support, everything. Subscribe everybody here in the panel. Great show. You can find me on Twitter and on El Matador 809.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No doubt, bro. Yo, Omar, man, give us your outro, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun. Shout out to you, shout out to the panel, shout out to chat, and play Ghost of Tsushima. It's amazing.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And Sick, I think he dipped out, but definitely check out Sick. His link to his channel is in the description as well. Shout out to Sick. Definitely appreciate him coming through to the channel as well. To everybody here, man, I appreciate you all for being here today, man. It was a lot of y'all in the chat. Pug, Buck, Rallo God, Absolute MMA, Sinister, Garuda, Paradox, BK, Guabzilla, Jay Bari, Chris Righteous, Miwal, Got Tome, a new person here. I hope you enjoyed the content, man. I know you're new here. Definitely appreciate you clicking on my channel and checking me out, man. AI Akumu, appreciate you so much. Always come through. True Bleed 420, Dom P. Who else, man? It was a lot of y'all today. It was like 80 of y'all here. So, the almighty Spartan guy, appreciate you, bro. Honey Hot Sauce, what's up? Appreciate you so much for coming through. You new as well. I've never seen you here, so I hope you enjoyed the content. And if you did, definitely appreciate it. Plus Ultra, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. Who else, man? Andre 6K, the real McCoy. Appreciate you, bro. Always, man. Thank you so much for being here. Yo, Dragon Sword, man. I appreciate you too, bro. Who else? Corey, I know you was here. Corey, appreciate you. OBJ, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Who else? It was a lot of y'all, man. There's too many y'all in the chat. Everybody else that was writing in the chat, I appreciate y'all as well. Also, To the lurkers, people that was just coming through to listen, I appreciate you guys as well. Also, to any newcomers, people that, clicked on the channel, or, you saw a retweet or something of my channel on social media. I appreciate you guys coming through as well. I hope you guys enjoy the content, and hopefully you guys will come back. For all you newcomers, I hope you enjoyed the show. Much more content, a lot of content on the channel already. Also, this Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern is going to be the pre-show of this Microsoft event. It's going to be me, Bari, and Sick, and it's probably going to be a whole bunch of other people. Whoever come through. I know it's going to be a whole bunch of people coming through. So,
Probably going to be with Kid Smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that Kid Smooth stream going to be... that Kid Smooth stream gonna be funny, bro.
Yo, they're gonna kick me out, man.
That Kid Smooth, yo, if this conference go the way I think it's gonna go, yo, that Kid Smooth live reactions is gonna be funny, boy. Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing live reactions. It's gonna be fun, a lot of fun. Trust me, guys. Even if the show is boring, I'll make sure you guys aren't bored. Trust me, it's gonna be nothing but laughs. Trust me. Pug, I don't know if I shouted out Sam Ash, Pug, When We Meet. Appreciate y'all as well. Also, this Saturday at 11 a.m., I've got an interview with the indie developer. His name is Rohan. He created games like Jack and Jill DX, and Square Boy versus Bullies. Really cool guy, man. I've had him on the show before. It's been a long time since he's been on, so he's going to have him come on the show, talk about development, talk about his thoughts about different games and stuff like that, and what he's been working on. So hopefully you guys will be there for that as well. With that being said, I'm about to get up out of here, play some games. That ghost is calling me, but I appreciate you guys. Please be safe, and I will see you guys Thursday. Raph, peace out. Jamar, peace out, and everybody else, peace.